wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. Come on, name, you understand. I wanna stay, cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. That's my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. Come on, please, you understand. I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. I wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Pull me back, take my hand. Come on, name, you understand. I wanna stay, cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. That's my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me Won't you say why you're a stranger now? Your eyes escape mine when I sit you down. Don't you feel like we're holding on onto a fairy tale, but the magic's gone? Been months of bluffing the blushes and faking the butterflies. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, be true to what we want. Forget how it felt from the outset. Hope this to reset. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Kinda missing how we kicked it off. Always in overdrive, now the feeling's lost. Blind to notice, we've been losing touch. Long gone fairy tale, yeah, we killed the rush. Been months of acting a fiction and staging a Valentine's. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down. Ooh.
How this goes then, of course, yeah, so I think the mic wasn't working, but anyway, welcome back. All right, we're getting into our open series for Mettlestate season 6 week 2. We're of course watching the players from group 3 today, so let's see, hopefully we can get some of the action and stuff rolling. Just waiting for the last few players there to make their way in. And well, actually last week we were watching the players there from team 1. So some interesting things coming from that side.
Yeah, some interesting things happening all across the board, and I think that's probably what we're going to see continuing here on today in this group, which is group 3, I believe. So yeah, I'm interested to see what these guys bring to the table, what these teams are going to be doing here today. I mean, we've seen just about everything at this point, you know. So really, what we're just going to be looking out for is people maybe just giving us those classic flings, you know, maybe just showing us a couple of those hide and seek contenders for the trophy of hide and seek of the year, you know, because we've been seeing a little bit of that as well. So that's always great. We'll see if any of those contenders arise, because I think we've got like 3 now, don't we?
Yeah, we've had 3 hide and go seek contenders so far. So yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, the match has just started, so we are waiting to see, you know, what the zone is going to give us, where it's going to take us. Ooh, there we go, going a little bit blind here for a few moments. All right, but yeah, let's jump into the lobby and see what teams we've got in the lobby for this first round. We've of course got the 4 games happening, so yeah, a lot of room for some movement. So without further ado, I think let's jump up. See what's
Yeah.
cracking.
Yeah. Let's see what's cracking indeed, because you know, this zone, the zone drop, the flight path, these are all things that we wanna have a look at and see what happens.
Yeah. Definitely, and we'll see what's gonna we'll definitely see what's gonna happen. As you can see, we got the teams there from iEnvy over in slot 2. We've got the team from Killer Instinct over in slot 5. We've got the team from Complexity B over in 6. In 7, we have the team there from the Liberators. And then, of course, in slot 10, we've got the players from SHELLSHOCK. In 11, we have Not Gaming. In 14, we have the team there from Charlie. In 15, we've got Mulah Six. In 16, we've got the players there from Red 66. In 17, we've got the team there from Revolution. In 21, we've got the team from the Rogue Warriors. And then, of course, in 22, we've got the Pubgees. There we go. There we go. All right, so that flight path. Interesting flight path we got as well, taking us from that western side and heading straight into the Nova crates.
Yeah, very, very southern, so it's going to really deny a lot of that northern sort of zone-ish. We usually see at least a little bit of access for the teams up to Rozhok and Pochinki and all those nice places, so it looks like those teams might just have to go hiking if they want to reach a place like, for instance, Yasnaya. But, I mean, we've seen the teams do that before, so it wouldn't be extra surprising. But hopefully, based on the flight path, maybe we'll see a team or two dropping down into that good old military base, potentially.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely see where these teams go. We've got two teams, of course, now making their way up right over towards South George and the surrounding hospital area there. So we see them moving up. And then, of course, we've got a few teams dropping out right there next to that western bridge, heading up in towards those sixes. And then, of course, the remainder of the teams now making their way out. And we've only got one potential team to move up in towards that Sosnovka military base.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm finding curious is that nobody's dropped towards Quarry. Why do you think that is?
No idea. It's quite
like that
interesting,
whole
though.
area is- Yeah, it's very odd. It's that entire area is just completely neglected. Gatka empty, Quarry empty, Primorsk, Ferry Pier empty. All these teams opting to go pretty much everywhere except that particular spot.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely see what's going to happen. And we just, of course, now waiting for the remainder of the teams to start making their way down so we can start jumping up in towards that action and get in on, well, what should hopefully be some early game shots.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. The team's already very clumped down towards that area. You can see so many teams on top of one another. You can see just down towards the southwest. There's the fights happening already. We can see a lot of teams down towards the south as well. So already we've got teams very, very close, and a couple of fights, you know, we're going to break out as a result of that. Definitely a lot of that map going unused at the moment.
Yeah, no, that is definitely what we can see. And waiting to see now, you know, we've got our Mr. Noob over here that they were trying to push up right in towards the players here from Complexity. We saw a few shots going off. 12 teams, of course, in the lobby. 44 teams remaining. So waiting to see now what is going to happen and who will be sent back to the lobby first. And, you know, who will be making it through into the later rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that is what we're going to be seeing throughout tonight. Obviously, we got a couple of games to go, so you know this is going to be the start. This is going to be the opener for these teams here. They're going to be jumping into it, just setting themselves up for the long run here, and you know, they have a bit of a chance for redemption if they don't really make it out in this one. But of course, still want to be putting as many points on the board as possible. So yeah, it looks like we're going to get a couple of teams now starting to rotate up. I think it's the Rogue Warriors there who've moved all the way up into Yasnaya, so they are utilizing a little bit of that open area at the moment, which is good. But we've still got quite a number of teams down here towards the southern portion, and you know, we might just see some fights happening depending on whether the teams do start to enclose on one another. We can see actually the team from, I think it's Not Gaming, they're a little bit spread out there. They've got 2 players just on the coast of the military base, and 1 down in towards military base, and then 1 on the complete other side of the river. So that's interesting.
Oh, well, we'll see how this develops, of course, now as the teams are trying to make their move around all over the place here. Several of them, of course, now moving up. And let's see, maybe we might be able to get in some of those shots. The teams, of course, now splitting up quite a bit, you know, making their move around the map. And, well, who knows? Maybe we might see them pushing up into some interesting positions.
Yeah, it's very good that they're using that map. You know, I was scared that they were just going to continue to be bunched up there, and we were going to see them getting wiped within like 5 minutes. So I'm sort of glad that they just decided to do that move. You know, make sure they're getting towards the zone, making sure they're rotating around to that, you know, the free open area that they have, making use of teams have a good spread between them. They don't have to worry about getting taken out just yet, unless somebody does decide to roll up and take some fights. So yeah, they can just set themselves inside that zone, make sure they're sitting pretty for the next couple of ones that are about to hit, and yeah, maybe they'll make it up into the later stages here, and we'll see a little bit more of a competitive zone as things progress.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this then, of course, unfolds in the team here at the current moment that we're watching this, of course, being the players there from Mulah Six. They are slowly but surely closing in on the team here from Killer Instinct. They're waiting now to see, will they be able to get the pounds? Will they land those hits? Or, you know, will we see it happen the other way around? Will we see Killer Instinct, you know, acting on their instincts and, of course, putting those shots right up into the players here from Mulah Six?
Yeah. Good question there that we will see in due course. And of course, it looks like the players from the Pubgees also moving up on towards the players there from the... yeah, the name slips my mind, but they're up in there in Yasnaya, so we could see some fights coming out from them. But now we're going to be seeing that fight right up here in South George, happening right in front of us.
Well, the players there from Mulah Six already pushing up right in towards the team here, getting that first hit on Mr. Namex. So now we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the rest. We've got Momo, Cyclops, and Shark, of course, just over towards the north in the compounds there. And we've got some more action now in the kill feed as well as the players there. I think this is over in Yasnaya. Yes, in fact,
Yes.
it is. So let's jump over into the players here from the Rogue Warriors as they, of course, now pushing in. And I think they just took out the team there.
Yeah.
So they just shot the Pubgees back to the PUBG lobby.
Yep. That is exactly what happened. I saw that one coming. Just forgot the name of the Rogue Warriors there for just a second. But yeah, this is the fight that I was talking about up in Yasnaya that was going to happen. It happened. The Rogue Warriors won that one out. They had a good position. The PUBGs sort of just rolled up on them and evidently couldn't take the fight. So actually, a nice little red zone there. Just gonna keep them honest, keep them inside the buildings for the moment. But luckily, they are right there inside the zone. Nothing too crazy happening for them. Of course, plenty of space in between these teams is going to mean that they'll be sitting relatively comfortably for the moment, just waiting for that blue zone to make its way on in. Of course, we're still waiting for that. It does take a little bit of time to move on in, but yeah, we still have the teams up there in South George, just across from one another. Potentially could continue to fight, but yeah, for the moment, you know, there's still plenty of space. We only have 11 teams on the board right now. This is the very first zone, so I seriously don't expect there to be any sort of funneling, any sort of clashing. There's a lot of free space to move. These teams should be sitting pretty happily. They'll be able to loot up and all that fun stuff. So I think we'll only probably see the fight start to happen in the next zone or two.
Well, we'll see. Definitely, as the zone, of course, now, well, it should start closing in any time soon, and hopefully it's going to rotate up into, rather shift up into quite an interesting position, because the teams are quite spread out across the zone. You can't wait for them to get, you know, all pushed up together, start huddling up in those positions, and see those shots, of course, then flying between the teams.
Yeah, and also now we're seeing the players there from, is that Mulah Six?
Mulah Six, yeah?
Yeah, all right. So the players, there's too many SG teams. There's way too many SG teams with too many different names. That team right there is going to be moving away from that South George position. They are rotating their way on up in towards the zone, which is a nice decision. They're going to get up in there early. Not that there's really any, you know, fighting for space at this point. You know, as I mentioned, there's only 11 teams, but at least they're making their way on in nice and early, so they will be able to be there if something does happen. On the other side, of course, we do have the team remaining still in North George at the moment. They have made their way on up in towards there. But yeah, now I guess we're just waiting for that blue zone to, as you said, start squishing those players up towards one another, get them nice and close and cuddly towards one another, and start putting that lead in.
Yes. Let's hope that is exactly what we'll see happening between these teams. And the zone is very slowly closing in. You know, no urgent rush there by the blue zone to close in just yet. And well, you can see the teams, of course, now trying to find their positions. We got the players there from Mulah Six busy rotating up, heading in towards the direction of the players there from Red 66. Then, of course, we've got Revolution up in Pachinki now, mobilizing themselves, starting to head out of the area. So let's see, will the two players there, of course, from Sparsa Gaming start bumping into each other? Or, well, is it just going to be a drive-by?
Yeah, I guess we'll have a look and see. It might just be a drive by these players, just moving on across up in towards the east side of Rozhok. So they will be just popping down there. No clashes just yet. But yeah, the rotation's coming in, just making sure the teams are within the zone, sitting happily. And once that zone starts to move in, once the new zone gets chosen, we will see where the teams do have to start rotating up in towards. I think the next zone and the one after that will probably still be quite comfortable for most of the teams, you know, just based on the sheer size of the map and, you know, in relative accordance with how few teams we have remaining at the moment, you know. So definitely don't expect any huge like clustering or anything like that to happen unless, you know, somebody does decide to do some huge rotates, some insane rotates, you know, everyone suddenly, you know, starts rotating in towards the middle or something. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy for the moment. But yeah, we'll definitely start to see those hits coming in as the space becomes more and more restricted, as that zone starts making its way in, and the teams are forced to rotate there. That red zone is being very aggressive today as well. Like I just noticed,
Yeah.
it's very aggressive.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some interesting movements there by the red zone. And of course the players here now from Red 66 now just tapping a quick few shots over towards Mulah Six, just over towards their northern position. So, yeah, it seems like Mr. Tika here being the only one that has spotted them so far. And the remainder of the squad, of course, just over towards the south there. You know, they might be throwing a few eyes over towards that direction. But hey, well, let's see. And this blue zone is slowly but surely still closing in, waiting to see where it's going to end up and where this next zone shift's going to take us. Because, well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see these teams all clumped up together and getting them right there in each other's faces and having the action, of course, flying back and forth along with the shots there, of course, flying back and forth between the teams.
Yeah.
There we go. We've got some more shots now here between the players from Red 66 and Mulah Six.
Yeah, and the 60-60, 60-60, 66. Yeah, there's yeah. Change, get a new name, get a new tag or something like that. Just make it easier for us.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna be tortured by the lame jokes that Batchy comes up with.
Yeah, you know, I just like it's less jokes and more just my tortured soul screaming in agony. But at the moment, we are going to be seeing that zone shifting downwards, so we still have a chance for a bit of a spicy zone there. Maybe we'll see a bridge final zone. Who knows? That is still on the cards at the moment. The teams will start to make their way down momentarily. Of course, most of the teams sitting relatively happily inside the zone still. It's only a couple of teams that need to make their way down. Of course, SHELLSHOCK being one of those teams. The Rogue Warriors do need to move down as well. And yeah, a couple of other teams just need to move in over that line. And pretty much good to go at this point. The real question is, where do we see the fights start to happen? Where do we see these teams start moving into one another? Because that's really what we're looking for right now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see what these teams do and where they go. Because at the moment, you know, there's still a lot of space. But fortunately, looking at the zone now, we've got these teams now really starting to move in, you know, starting to huddle up in that center zone. And the players here from Complexity already positioned in that central region. We've got several teams now slowly but surely closing in, moving up on them. As you can see, the team there from Revolution up on the hill. We've got the players from Not Gaming just over here towards the south as well. And then, of course, we got the team there now from Mulah Six, just over towards that northwestern side.
Yeah, so this is interesting. We've got a couple of teams moving in towards that farm area, which is interesting. Generally, you know, I wouldn't expect to see all the teams moving in that direction, but because it is somewhat central to the zone, you know, it's understandable that the teams would be moving in here, and this could be our potential for the fights to start happening between a Complexity and some of the other teams now moving up.
Well, we're also seeing the team here from this, I believe, is Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct just pulling up right behind the team there from Mulah Six, but of course, off they go now. deciding that it's maybe not worth it to hang around. We can see Cyclops now just pushing up that ridge, trying to regroup with the remainder of his team. And it seems like his vehicle is struggling ever so slightly getting up this hill. Well, I was also struggling to get away from him, but there we go. Alright, so the team there from Revolution are moving up in towards Complexity. Up they come. Let's see, will they get those hits in? Off goes the first two knocks though.
Oh yeah, so they're moving up really quickly. You're trying to just knock Complexity out. Some hits are coming through now, and they're just landing all on towards Complexity. Complexity not managing to find anything back. They don't find a single one.
Wow, that was pretty tough. Revolution just coming in, taking them down, sending them right back into the lobby like nothing ever happened. And of course, the players there from Mulah Six, as you can see, just up ahead now, trying to get those third parties in on the team here from Revolution. Well, they were bound to get shot at sooner or later. Unfortunately, that wasn't by the team we had from Complexity there. But hey, either way, it is all good. The shots are still flying across. We have the players there, as you can see, from Not Gaming just over towards that southwest. And of course, the players then there from Mulah Six sitting over towards the northwest. So some two interesting positions there with the teams, you know, of course, now all just moving in.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. What happens? Are we going to see any additional shots? Because there's a bit of a triangle happening between these three teams here. And of course, the remainder of the teams, as you can see, very comfortable in their positions elsewhere in the zone. You know, no urgency for them to really up into the central part of the zone and trying to get those hits in.
Yeah, and that's just due to, you know, the size of the zone that we still have remaining. You know, this is like the second zone still. We still have lots and lots of space, and there are only 10 teams remaining. Like, we're already in the top 10, you know, remaining teams from the lobby. So, yeah, none of these teams really hugely urgent to move around. There's no gatekeeping that can really happen. You know, the space is too big for that. There's not enough teams, not enough players. You can't really set up any aggressive pushes if you don't know where some of the other teams are, and if you're not getting challenged, there's also no reason to sort of play around. So you can sort of just get that loot going as again, you know, see if you can upgrade anything, sit happily for the moment. You know, if anyone knocks anyone else out, great. Very strange on Complexity side that we didn't see them get anything back. Like, they didn't even get a single knock onto Revolution as they came up. So that was like an uncontested fight. Complexity just got straight up knocked back into the lobby. So yeah, I mean, the players are sort of just waiting for stuff like that to happen, you know, the teams to get whittled away. And then once they finally get a little bit closer in terms of proximity to one another, when they can put the hits in, then they'll really start to do stuff. So right now we're seeing iEnvy taking a couple of fights. They're just towards the northern side of that eastern bridge. So potentially another fight that could be brewing up here that might result in a couple of teams being knocked out here.
Yeah, well, they're moving in right on the Charlie team here, and you can see Inspector now busy just flanking up the side, trying to see if he can get in on Sicario and Buzzed. Well, here they come, moving up bit by bit. Will Inspector get it? We got Boyka and the remainder of the group also now just rushing in. The Frogman already getting knocked out. Inspector now in the compound, moving up. Sicario just up ahead, caught in a reload. Oh, that is a really tough one. And of course, there goes the Grain, finishing them off. Maniac landing that final blow. So there we go. The iEnvy team getting a quick squad wipe. That was really quick, I must add, though. Yeah,
and very clean as well. Sort of expected from iEnvy. They do pretty often give us sort of a showing like this. They're a very strong team. So yeah, definitely not a surprise to see them be able to operate so cleanly. The rest of the team's now going to be making their way in towards the zone, which has shifted towards the southeast. Well, southwest, sorry, which is interesting because we've got a little bit of water down there, so that's going to at least make the size of the available land a little bit smaller, which is great because maybe we'll see a lot more fights start to happen now.
And well, we've got three teams, of course, now just rolling up, and we are seeing the players here from Red 66 right there in the thick of it with the team, of course, then from the SHELLSHOCK. There's some shots flying up there, and the Rogue Warriors also just passing right past them here. So definitely seeing a little bit of carnage between these teams as everyone else trying to make their way in towards zone. The Rogue Warriors going on a bit of a roll there, trying to get those shots in towards Piggy, but Piggy is just running all the way to the bank, trying to make that run and get away successfully, of course. So let's see what will happen.
Yeah. Team's going to make their way in. We'll see if those shots do start to ring out. Of course, we've got the teams moving in a little bit closer to one another now, which is great. Definitely some hits coming out towards the Revolution Gang. Going to be taking quite a number of hits as the team are rolling straight up here. They are just taking these players out. Now, Tika is actually going to fall as well. Now, Piggy trying to get some resurrections in here, trying to revive the teammates. But can it be done? 2 seconds left, just barely not able to do it, and that's going to be the knock straight up. Cleanly done there by Revolution.
Oh. Well done to Revolution. Yet again, a pretty quick push, and you know, lots of aggression in that push. So you know, they accomplished quite a lot in that movement that they had right there. And we also, of course, now seeing the players here from the Rogue Warriors pushing up right on the team here. Oh, moving up right on Killer Instinct. The shots, of course, now flying up in all directions. Also, the team there from Not Gaming just off in the distance, so they could potentially come in with a bit of a third party. Here we go, Rogue Warriors down to their last hopeful. Let's see, will he make it? Gets a quick hit in on Momo. Oh, Shark comes around the corner and just rips it up. Sends them right back into the lobby. So this is the action that we've been waiting for. And we, of course, seeing the players here from Mulah Six just to the south of the team from SHELLSHOCK up in the distance over there, as you can see, towards that north. So hopefully we'll see them moving in, you know, as well, there's only so much space left in the zone, and hopefully the teams will start, you know, capitalizing on the fact that there is so much limited space, you know, and actually start putting those hits in, because we saw quite a bit now. We went down all the way down to 7 teams, 22 players still remaining.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that last battle that we just witnessed was the fact that I believe it was Rotti who he was taking the last fight there, and the player just circumnavigated right behind him, and he didn't see it, he didn't notice it, and just got taken out from behind. That's so unfortunate, because he was looking to take the clutch, which could have been pretty spicy, but yeah, it doesn't come through. And now we're left with those 7 teams, like you said, in that zone, rotating its way on in, closing up once again, forcing these teams up close to one another. And well, that is sure to mean that we're going to see some fights coming out of this one. iEnvy going to have to rotate their way on into zone. Of course, SHELLSHOCK as well, another team that does need to make its way down from the north there. But the rest of the teams already in zone. You can see the team from Not Gaming there just towards that peak right off on the coast. And well, now some shots going in towards Spectre, it seems, as he tries to make his way in there.
Ooh, he's trying to get in that position on the players here from Mulah Six, moving up rock to rock. Let's see, will he be able to get a possible clutch in? We've got Shade, of course, now right there, sending a quick one off. Oh, Shade lands the hit. Nice. Sends him right back into the lobby. And of course, now the team there from SHELLSHOCK, they're also now just rolling up, as you can see here, right in the distance. Shots still flying in. Zero hitting that rock just up ahead. Oh, definitely a really tough one.
Yeah, Zero almost got straight up yoinked by the car there. Almost getting exploded, but yeah, it's not going to happen. DK will have to wait another one to see those happen, unfortunately. But yeah, so it looks like Not Gaming also going to be moving up on that remaining SHELLSHOCK player down towards the south. The rest of SHELLSHOCK up towards the north, not really going to be able to assist. And yeah, well, we've got the teams sort of spread out at the moment. They're not super close, but I'm assuming that's going to change relatively quickly, either because of the zone or because the players do decide to move up. Hopefully they do. Otherwise, the zone will force them to anyway. So yeah, either way, we will definitely see the shots fly pretty soon.
Oh, let's see. We've got the players here from SHELLSHOCK now just holding up the team there from iEnvy. Almost rotating up right there next to them. As you can see, iEnvy, of course, right over here on that eastern side. Slowly but surely moving up. That, of course, being Mr. Spectre. And then some more shots now flying up from the Revolution side. Also trying to get them right there into iEnvy. So it's a bit of a tricky spot, you know. Maybe they can roll up, get some good positioning in the zone. Inspector, of course, now doing already just that. Moving up ahead of the team, trying to see if he can find that good spot to move in from. And then once, you know, I think he gives a go-ahead, the remainder of the squad will then join up with him. Well, there we go. That's exactly what happened. The squad then, you know, just coming in there, joining up with Inspector, giving them a little bit better fighting chance, going up against the remainder of the lobby. All 5 of the other teams, of course, now spread out across that map. So hopefully we'll see the shots now coming in.
Oh yeah, this is what I like. iEnvy going to be rotating up straight away with support from Inspector with the with that long range support fire coming through. But can they take the hits? Can they take down SHELLSHOCK here, who just huddled up inside this house? A couple of well-placed grens could be all they need to get this going for them. But can they make it happen now? It looks like they might just be challenged here. SHELLSHOCK coming up off the side. They're not expecting it preset. Going to be doing what the nades go off. They take down one of the SHELLSHOCK players there. They are huddling up here trying to survive. But both of these teams have taken a bit of damage. They're trying to recuperate. Somebody is going to have to pull the trigger here. Oh, the nade is just going off left and right here. But the vehicle's maintaining their integrity for the moment. Some more shots going to be coming in from SHELLSHOCK. Zero going to be doing some good work there. Now it looks like iEnvy might just have to back off. Otherwise, they're going to have to hard commit to this fight and hope that they win it. Because it's very, very close right now. SHELLSHOCK. Ooh, they just look at this. They're just peeking one by one.
Oh, and Mulah Six also now moving in, but what a beautiful finish that is there by SHELLSHOCK, just pushing in, well, rather defending their spot there as the players from iEnvy tried to move in. And now we've got Mulah Six also closing in on them. Up comes Poison, just rushing in, hoping for a bit of a third party, but fortunately they put the head straight into Poison, sending him off right into that lobby. Shade, the next one up, off he goes as well. Oh, Ash, and down they go. What a defensive move that was by SHELLSHOCK.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, this is exactly what we were waiting for. Like, this is exactly what we've been waiting this entire game to see. Such a beautiful defense coming up from SHELLSHOCK there. They get pushed by iEnvy, arguably a really, really good, solid team when it comes to attacks. They come in, and SHELLSHOCK play it so well. They don't overcommit in the peaks. They just send one player out either side. One player out, takes him down, runs back inside. One player out, and they just whittle down iEnvy bit by bit until they can just commit to it and just take them down immediately. And as soon as that happens, well, the players from Mulah Six try and roll up and capitalize for the the third party. They just like, no, we're gonna hold on straight away. They take the players down. Reckless abandon from Mulah Six is going to be their downfall, and now we're left with our last 4 teams remaining.
Yeah, that was, yet again, that was some beautiful play that we saw come in from the players there. So well done, SHELLSHOCK, really putting up an amazing performance there. And of course, they're now still alive, making their way up. And up comes the team there from Killer Instinct as well, now moving in from that western side. Let's see, are they going to try and rush up in towards Revolution? Because SHELLSHOCK is also closing in, but the shots are now flying in. Revolution putting those hits across over towards the team there from SHELLSHOCK. Zone shifting up, right up towards the players there from Killer Instinct. So they are fortunate enough to have the zone in their favor. The 3 other remaining teams, of course, now need to make their way up into that zone. And I think this is definitely, we're going to see quite a few of those hits. And Thirst, of course, now coming in.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. These players are fighting for that nice chicken dinner, of course. And well, in order to do that, you're going to need to take down all of your opposition here. So yeah, the players just surrounding the sort of center point that is occupied here by I don't know what this player. The tag is VG, but the name is not VG.
The Killer Instinct team, yeah.
All right, so it's actually supposed to be KI, but we'll let it slip for the moment. The players here from Killer Instinct, they're in a bit of a position here. They only have the vehicles for protection, and they're going to be surrounded pretty soon. We have the squad from Revolution coming up there. We have the Not Gaming squad, and we have the players there from SHELLSHOCK all rolling up. And they're going to be surrounded pretty soon, and that's going to be a really tough spot to be in. They're going to have to defend almost SHELLSHOCK levels of defense if they want to hold on to this spot.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's going to happen, and we're still waiting for these teams to start rolling up in towards the zone now. They've got 10 seconds left until the zone is shifting. You can see SHELLSHOCK now just slowly but surely making their way up in towards zone, hitting up that prone position, trying to see if they could potentially, see some of the teams. But we've got Revolution now pushing up right in towards Killer Instinct. Up they come. The shots flying in. Shark getting hit by a bit of a crossfire there. Oh, Revolution moving up. Momo now the last hopeful, I think it is. Let's see. Yes, Momo is the last one left. Will he be able to clutch it? Or will they get taken down in the process? SHELLSHOCK also right there next to them. Ooh, quite a comeback that is from Momo.
Yeah, just barely managing to hold on to that one. Revolution, they had to make the push. They had to make it happen. Momo is able to hold on for the moment. But Revolution still need to make something happen here because, well, they're just outside of that zone. They're going to have to push forward. Of course, Momo will have to do that as well. It's the Not Gaming team who are actually off on the best foot at the moment. Momo taking some fire now as the players from Revolution make their way out. And there it is, McGaffey. I don't know, that guy right there, he's going to be moving on up. He's going to be taking out Momo. And now the Not Gaming squad are going to be just pushing themselves to the edge of the zone. They're really doing the gatekeep that we have been waiting for to make it happen for themselves. It is just Revolution versus Not Gaming. And Not Gaming know that they have the upper hand here. They could just roll on up and take the fight.
Ooh. There we go. No, Not Gaming pushing up and completely finishing off that last bit of Revolution there. Just making sure that they all go straight back to the lobby where they came from. And of course, yeah, well, they managed to get themselves 3 kills for the chicken dinner position. The team there from Revolution managing to come in with 12 kills in second place. Killer Instinct finishing off with 6 kills in third place. SHELLSHOCK coming in there with their 7 kills in fourth. And of course, we got the players here from Red 66 finishing their play. Was it? No, this was Killer Instinct. The other one was, oh man, whatever. This is Mulah 6. Mulah 6 in 5th place, struggling with all the different tags.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, there we go. Mulah 6 in 5th place with 2 kills. iEnvy finishing off there with 4 kills in 6th place. And of course, we got the players, this being the Liberators in 7th place, going home empty-handed. The Rogue Warriors finishing off in 8th place with 5. The team there from, I think this is Red 66 finishing off in 9th place. Then we got the team also there, of course, from Charlie coming in 10th place. We got Complexity in 11th. And then, of course, the players from, I'm not sure what that team is, but they finished off in 12th place, being Mr. Mulah, King Zador. And
not the Pubgees. I think it was the Pubgees.
Oh yes, the Pubgees. There we go. Pubgees finishing off in 12th place. So there we go. There we have it. That was our first round. So our first Erangel map, of course, is done. We are heading up into 2 Miramar maps, and then we'll be back once again with Erangel in the 4th one. So yeah, some pretty hot stuff that we had, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that going into the Miramar, seeing that it is quite a fairly big map. So yeah, well, let's see what happens. Well, in the meantime, let's head into the intermission screen while we wait for the next round to get underway. Here we go.
Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it. did you find a way to run from the city of the sun? You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah. Consume toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah. No quiero perder lo que queda. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más encontrando vida en el camino, melodías que no hemos tocado, y yo no quiero descansar. Resuena por la pared, creando una canción. No quiero perder el ritmo. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más Crecemos en número, en solo un trueno de horizontes. Seremos miles. Crecemos en número, en solo un trueno de horizontes. Seremos miles. Más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA. I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me no more.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, so we are getting ready for our second match, heading straight up in towards the Miramar map. And, well, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. Very, very large map. And a lot of space between teams. So let's see. Maybe these teams are going to, you know, potentially maybe start pushing up into each other there. You know, we never know.
I really hope so. I really hope so. Because
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be a long game. I think if we don't see a little bit of proactivity from the teams, I think it might just take a little while. Yeah, I mean, we know how big Miramar is, and I mean, usually when you have a giant stacked lobby, it's not so much of a problem. But you know, at the moment when you have 12 teams or whatever the case is going into a map like Miramar, like you really have to take the initiative. If you're looking for kills, you have to take the initiative. Otherwise, you basically just go looting for half the map, and then the other half you go killing.
Well, speaking of which, here is the teams that we're looking at. So you can see the players there from iEnvy, of course, over in slot 2. We got the team from Killer Instinct in 5. We got Complexity over in 6. We got the Liberators over in 7. Tears of Chaos over in 8. We got SHELLSHOCK in 10. We've got Not Gaming in 11. The players there from Charlie, well, BV Charlie over in slot 14. In 15, we've got the players from Mulah Six in 16. We've got Red 66. We've got Revolution in 17. The team from Dream Team in 19. And of course, the Rogue Warriors over in 21. And in 22, we have the Pubgees. Alright, and the flight path is taking us all the way up there from the trailer park and heading straight over towards Puerto Pareson. So, well, I guess I hope I said it right. I'm guessing, but let's just call it Puerto. So they're heading straight over towards Puerto. So a few interesting spots along the way for the teams there, of course, to drop down into and get, get some potential action, maybe, hopefully going. But we'll see where these teams go and where they end up dropping into. To see the players there from Not Gaming heading out over in towards what seems to be El Pozo. We've got Complexity heading up towards La Cabrera. We've got a few more teams making their way down. SHELLSHOCK, Revo, iEnvy, the players there from Dream Team, Killer Instinct, Charlie, as well as Mulah Six. So everyone making their way, heading in bit by bit. And yeah, well, let's see where they go.
Yeah, let's see where they go and what they do. You know, like I said, we're really going to have to see some aggression or some sort of activity coming out from the teams, you know, as soon as the teams will have set themselves up, because it should be relatively easy. I mean, most of it should be uncontested unless the teams drop with the intent to be close to someone, you know, someone else to be close to another team to take the fight. Then I think they should be relatively uncontested. You know, they can get themselves set up. Everything should be fine. And then from that point on, you can decide what to do. You can say, all right, we're looking good. We're in a decent spot. Let's go looking for fights, or let's make some rotates. Let's do something. Of course, that will all be decided, of course, by that zone. So wherever the zone goes, the players will then have to, you know, decide how to move and whatnot. So yeah, I guess we're just waiting for that zone to drop and then see what the players and teams decide to do.
Well, we got some early shots there from Revolution already flying right up towards the players from Dream Team as they make their way up, and the zone has come in. You can see taking us all the way in that northwestern corner of the map there. And of course, we've got a few teams fairly close together. This, of course, being the players here from Tears of Chaos, just slightly off to the distance. Well, slightly off into the distance there from the Pubgees. It's Monday, okay?
Yeah.
It's Monday.
Yeah, I feel it too, don't worry.
Let's see what's going to happen. Will we see some more shots between these players? Or, well, is it going to be that for just now? So we will find out soon enough as the players all make their way around. Everyone trying to find that spot. There is quite a lot of space here for the teams to move around into. And, well, yeah, I don't think we're going to see anyone bumping into each other anytime soon. Unless, of course, like over here in Impala, we've got the players there from Red 66. And the team also right off in the distance there being the Rogue Warriors. I almost said the Rottweilers.
Wow.
I saw the RW and that was... And then, of course, there's Mr. Rotti here as well. So I'm sorry, I almost called you the Rottweilers, but whatever. The Rogue Warriors, there we go. Sounds much better.
Yeah,
I
the
agree with
names
that
has
name.
been a struggle today. Really it has.
Well, yeah, well, the Rogue Warriors making their way around over here. Let's see.
Rocky kissing a cactus?
Oh, yes. No, well, we've seen a few players getting stuck in those cacti. And, you know, well, being sent back into the lobby due to that. So hopefully they don't get stuck in it. It's fine kissing it, but yeah, just don't get stuck.
Well, I mean, to each
Mulah
their
here.
own, right?
As long as you sterilize beforehand, it's all good. Because you don't want infections.
Yeah, absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
those cactus needles could, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Stings too, but it
Yeah.
also mainly just sucks. So let's see. Tears of Chaos just up ahead here. Lanakane. That's a new one. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm trying, but yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
And we got
Lanakane.
Miragic. And Miragic. Definitely interesting names, I must say. Well done. Yeah. Making it super difficult for us. So, but of course, you know, what would a PUBG match be without difficult names?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, of course. It would not be a PUBG match without impronounceable names, crazy names, and crazy team tags.
Yep. And speaking of which, Ezio is of course now just rolling up, getting closer and closer over towards those rogue warriors off in the distance, over towards their northeastern side there. So hopefully we might see some more action. Well, that is what we are hoping for, and that is what we are waiting for. So yeah, this is of course a fairly ginormous map. Calling it big is a bit of an understatement. And as you can see, the teams, just looking at the map, it looks like they are fairly close together. But in fact, well, they are quite far apart.
Yeah.
Even Mr. Ezio here, moving up towards Savage there. On the map, it looks like it's right on his front step, you know. But actually,
it's a long distance.
Is iron sighting him with the SKS.
Yeah. That's definitely not going to work.
Well, no, it might. I mean,
well, I mean, it's across,
I've seen it work
across
before.
half the map here.
I've seen it work before, so you know, if he pulled that one off, I would be hella impressed, because that would have been a pretty amazing shot.
Yeah.
But we got Mr. Icebox, of course, also just off in the distance here. Let's see. Well, he's keeping it cool, just waiting.
Wow.
Popping a quick few scopes over towards where the players, of course, might potentially be. But as you can see from from the view here is well, it's not necessarily where they are, but they are trying to roll out. Will he get that hit? Oh, all right. Well, it's just keeping an eye on him.
Yeah. There's not really much to do on the map right now. The teams are not really close enough. You could see that if you really want to try and get the hit in from a distance, sure, maybe use an iron sights on the SKS to try and put some hits across. But, you know, the best is you'll get maybe some damage. Maybe at absolute max, you'll get a knock, which is kind of, man, the great scheme of things. They'll be able to res back up and sort of move on. So the real question is just which teams are most prepared, which teams are in the best spot in the zone when the new zone drops. You know, everyone's sort of ready. We saw, I think it was Complexity, sort of getting caught out in the previous one. They didn't really manage to get any hits in retaliation to the players that were rolling up on them. So, you know, if they get caught out like that again, it'll be quite disappointing. So hopefully the players will be a little bit more on their toes. That's what we're really looking for. As soon as the zone starts moving in, the players will get slowly closer and closer together. But as we said, you know, this map, it's big to begin with. The first zone, the second zone isn't going to be much smaller. Like, sure, it's going to get smaller, but in the great scheme of things on Miramar, it's not going to be that much smaller, so all the teams will still be able to fit in comfortably. So the real fight is just going to come down to the players' activity. You know, do they accidentally rotate into the same spot, or maybe do they decide to take the aggression and move on up to try and find another team and try and take them out? You know, that's really what it's going to come down to until we finally get to the zones that are really small enough to make it a bit of a challenge.
You know, to make it, you know, for the teams to really start the so much space in between these teams, and for them to try and get these teams, you know, they really have to, well, I don't know, the rabbit, you know, in the zone is this side. Fairly tricky to sneak up on a team, especially, you know, with all these open spaces you can see in front of Mr. Rotti over here. You know, so, yeah, Hopefully when the zone, of course, now starts closing in, you know, we're going to have some of that action once again, like we had in the previous round, which was quite spicy, you know, those final few rounds. So I'm quite keen for that. Super excited, hoping that comes sooner than later. And, well, yeah, in the meantime, we're just going to be moving around the teams here, just having a look and seeing, you know, what the different pickup techniques is that they are using, you know, how they're going about. Yeah, Mr. Miragic doing some magic right here. There we go. Ooh, jumping over that fence like it's nothing. Moving up once again. Oh, jumps back.
Oh, yeah. That's, you know what?
Stuff.
This guy's so magic on this map that is Miramar. You might even say that he's Miragic.
Yeah, it's the Miramar magic. And the shot's not flying up. There we go. Ooh, red 66. Getting stopped nearly dead in their tracks.
Yeah, that's the Miragic.
Ooh. Well, Miragic doing some magic right here on the Miramar map. So, I mean, that is fantastic so far. 2 players left to go. Getting those first in. There we go. 1 down, 2 more to go. Come on, Mr. Miragic. Show us your magic. Lanakane getting knocked out. So, it's a 1 up, 1 down. Piggy and Mega moving up. So, Mega Piggy about to turn the corner. Let's see, will they get those hits? Oh, Miragic doing some more magic, taking down Piggy, but Mega comes in with a Mega Clutch right around the corner, sends him off to the lobby. And that is the end for them. Well done, though. Tears of Chaos putting up, well, an interesting fight. We saw some pretty good plays right there by Miragic doing that magic.
I believed in the Miragic, and he couldn't close it out, man. I'm so sad. Like, that was looking so good for him. He was just really doing some mega stuff that, like, really just dancing around like he knew exactly what was going on. He was just getting up in there, and then right at the end, he just couldn't close it out. Tragic. Yeah, Mega coming in with that clutch there, just finishing them off, and well, yeah. Either way, well done, well played. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. But now we have the Rogue Warriors moving up as well, which could potentially find old Miss Piggy there, and potentially Mega as well take some fights against them. But it's also Miramar, so they could just circumnavigate them completely without realizing it. It could happen either way. Whether we're going to see some more fights like that coming up, probably not. Maybe the I don't think we're really going to see it. Maybe Rogue Warriors are going to move up. Otherwise, we're just going to wait for the next zone to drop and see where it goes and where the players start rotating to, because then that will give us a good inkling on where the fighting is going to happen.
Yeah, well, we got Mr. Killer Bean here from the Dream Team now, just trying to push up, get their way up in towards that zone. So let's see, will they be able to make it in successfully, get those hits going? You know, because at the moment they are the team that is, well, in the blue. The remainder of the lobby, of course, managing to escape for the time being, and we're watching the Rogue Warriors. Of course, they're also slowly but surely making their approach, and Piggy just just waiting off in the distance, you know, just super excited there to welcome them into zone.
Yeah, you gotta be you gotta just slap a fat welcome up in there to the players rotating in. You know, if you see them coming along, you're like, welcome to the zone, hey, you made it here, let me just give you a welcoming present.
Yeah, you know. Well, speaking of such, here's the zone now. So, I mean, we could potentially see some of these teams, you know, putting up a few interesting strats, while they are still comfortably in that zone. You know, several teams, in fact, in that zone, and well, the teams on the outside, they have quite some distance to cover to make it up. So this is kind of the moment where we're going to see what are they going to do. Are they going to stand the perimeter of that zone and gatekeep the teams as they try to make their entry? Or are they going to try and roll up, get some better positioning for the coming zone?
Yeah, well, that is the question here. There is a little bit of potential up towards the eastern side of the map there. There's a lot of teams outside the zone, which means that we could see the eastern portion of the zone getting very populated. But, I mean, in terms of a map on this scale, it, like, is a very populated map at this point enough to really force the fight. I'm not 100% sure about that. It might still very much be down to the players' initiative if they can take it. You know, if they can really start to get active and put the hits in. We'll see. Yeah, we can see a couple of teams already just in towards the center of the zone, just sitting relatively comfortable. So maybe we'll see some fighting in towards the center. iEnvy and of course Not Gaming moving up as well as Happy going to be flinging himself straight out of there and give us the christening for the match. So thanks for that.
Well, he's definitely not happy, you know, getting knocked out by the vehicle. Well, fortunately for them, there's no one here really to, you know, well, put them in any danger just at the current moment. So finally, well, not finally, but fortunately for them, they are quite safe and they can get that res going off successfully. But we are looking at the players here from SHELLSHOCK now moving up fairly close to Revolution. We've got a few hits now, just landing on Mr. Zero here as they all try and move up. There we go. Of course, hitting a few hay bales in the way. The vehicle taking a few hits in the process. Zero just trying to outmaneuver the shots that, of course, now flying in. So let's see, will he be able to pull it off? 1 or 2 more hits and this vehicle will blow up. So, well, let's see, will he be able to make it the great escape? He's, of course, the one all the way up ahead, all alone. The dream team, not too far away.
Yeah.
Ooh, Zero going on a bit of a roll there. Here we go, as one does, you know, when driving in a minibus.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you've got four round wheels, but you've also got a big round car that you can just go, you know, rolling down a hill if you do decide to do that.
Ooh, Maniac trying to find an
transport.
angle there on the rock, slides off ever so slightly. And the team there, and of course now from Not Gaming, moving up from that, well, northwestern side, slowly but surely encroaching on the position here. So let's see, will they get it all? Maniac be able to land any hits? We got Jagger, Happy, and well, sorry, just up ahead. So now we see what it will be.
Yeah. Now we just wait and see if those teams there in the center will clash. If this team from Not Gaming will meet up with the team from iEnvy there and exchange a couple of heated words and go on their merry way. We'll see a couple of teams moving in from the southeast as well. So that is getting particularly somewhat crowded here, particularly, you know, in terms of Miramar terms, or at least getting a little bit of that action. We'll see if they get any things going. They get any shots off in that particular area there, or if the size of this map is just a little too big for any of that to happen. We still have the 13 teams remaining here on this map. 49 players that are getting on into it. The zone is making its way in slowly but surely. We will be seeing the next one dropping in the meantime. Of course, we have the players from SHELLSHOCK here just off in the distance, moving their way on up. They are, of course, moving just upwards in towards the zone, potentially towards El Pozo maybe, which is not really populated at this point. The rest of the teams just sort of spread their way out across the map. A little bit of the centralization here, but yeah, we still have to wait for that zone to get a bit smaller before we see too many crazy things.
Well, we got Mr. Maniac here getting quite close to the team here from Not Gaming. So waiting to see what is going to happen. The whole squad, of course, right here. Okay, Jagger, sorry, and Happy. Everyone now just trying to find their spot here. Happy, of course, just scoping out the area, almost getting that angle on, well, Mr. Maniac just down below. They got Happy all perched up on the rock, right on the top here. Let's see, will he be able to pull off some magic hits?
Yeah, they've gone for a little bit of hill climbing, which gives them a really nice advantage here. And I actually really like the play from Not Gaming here, because this height advantage could really, really work for them. Especially if that zone shifts and they are still inside it, which will be decided very, very shortly. So this could be a potential really, really strong position for the team from Not Gaming to leverage.
Yeah, and you can see Maniac, of course, now just scanning the area here, trying to see if you could potentially maybe spot someone. But Inspector now right there in the scopes of Happy. Then let's see, hopefully they might be able to get some of those hits in. Just making sure that they can cover as many angles as possible there for the team. And well, iEnvy not moving up too much. Pretty sure Maniac knows that the players are, you know, just off to the side here. But we'll see now with the movements whether or not he's going to try and move up into that position, or is he just going to try and hang around and, well, you know, hope for the best.
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting position for Not Gaming to be in, and of course iEnvy as well, because they're on the edge of the zone, but they're still inside. So if they wanted, they could just sit here and wait for the teams to start moving in, because they have a really great overwatch position here. They can look down into the entirety of the surrounding area as the players start to come past and pushing towards the zone. So they could potentially put some long-range hits in and really become a nuisance for a lot of their teams and make it easier on themselves.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And well, speaking about nuisances, we're seeing the players here from Dream Team and of course the team there from SHELLSHOCK both now going, well, fairly close past each other here. The shots, of course, now flying in. Oh, there we go. Dream Team now moving up, trying to land some more shots. Let's see, will they be able to get it? Zero, taking a few hits in the process. We've got Wanda and Preset and Mr. Kage, what did you call him? I call him Cage, you call him Kage. Up on the hill.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, we got Derek, Killer Bean, Lucid Stark, and of course, well, Funky.
Yeah, I call him Kage. You know, like sort of, you know, like Kazekage, Mitsukage, Chushikage. You know.
Okay, stop being fancy. Let's see what's happening over here as the players from Mulah Six are now moving in. Getting ever closer to the players here from iEnvy and of course Not Gaming up on the hill. So let's see. Ooh, Happy and them haven't spotted them yet, but iEnvy, Maniac definitely getting spotted in the process. Now let's see. Here we go. Not Gaming now turning their attention right over towards the players. Of course, putting those heads in. Sorry. Getting knocked out in the process. Shade very, very low on health. Ooh, Maniac. About to get bounced here by Poison. Poison trying to sneak in. Will he get it? Oh! Nope. Maniac sends him straight back. Now let's see. Will Shade be able to get it off? Sorry. Oh, that height advantage.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, oh man. Well, he's not sorry, as you can see.
Oh yeah,
as
he's
the name
definitely
clearly
not sorry.
suggests.
Yeah. Yeah, now iEnvy is moving their way on up, and this is pretty much exactly what I was talking about in terms of this positional advantage here. Really just leveraging it out. iEnvy still taking the hits towards the Not Gaming squad there. So this battle is still going to ensue. Both of these teams are inside the zone, so they can just battle it out for a little bit longer. In the meantime, the Dream Team also going to be taking us towards the SHELLSHOCK players there in El Paso.
Oh, well, we got the Revolution team also just over towards that south. So there is potential for some more shots, of course, now to come in as there's a few more teams closing, as you can see. Revolution down towards that southern position. We just saw them render in on screen, and SHELLSHOCK and the Dream Team now going at it. There we go. Zero just getting taken down. Ooh. So there's a lot of potential for some more fights on this map now as the teams really start closing in and, you know, start putting those hits in. Maniac and Yuri really trying to get those hits in here to the players here from Not Gaming. Let's see, will they be able to get them in? They are definitely going to try. And only time will tell which one it's going to be. Mr. Happy is so happy in that his bird swimmer flies away. Let's see.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is the time here. We'll see if Not Gaming can put the hits in. If iEnvy will maybe try and respond to those hits, put them in for themselves. But I think from now on is where we're going to see the fights really start to happen in earnest as the zone gets smaller. That blue zone making its way in, of course, about to choose that next zone, which could potentially force these players in here. Complexity actually moving down from the north, but the zone is going to move in such a way that all of the teams are basically outside of it. So every single one of them is going to have to start making their way in. All of them gonna have to try and secure a spot in there.
We see several teams, of course, still out in the blue here. The players here from Charlie just trying to move up behind Revolution. Fricky getting taken down. We got Frogman, Buds, and Sicario also now just rolling up. Let's see, will they be able to get these hits in? Revolution putting those shots into Frogman. Down he goes. So it is now Sicario and Buds. Buzzed. Oh, Mr. Buzzed. Here we go. So Sicario is the last hopeful left for the team. Let's see. Will he be able to maybe potentially get a bit of a clutch going? Or will he be sent back into that lobby? Time will tell. But up he goes. Oh, into the lobby. Revolution sneaking it in. Putting those heads right up into them. And iEnvy are now pushing up right towards the players here from Not Gaming. There we go. The Liberators also now rolling up, as you can see, just towards the south there as well, trying to make their way up in towards that zone. And we're seeing the Pubgees also getting hit. Oh, will they make the escape? Oh, they are trying really, really hard to make it up in, and vehicle blows up.
Oh.
iEnvy taking down the whole team. What a play, though.
Happy DK.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now the rest of the teams are making their way in. Of course, we have Revolution putting the hits in towards the players there from the Pubgees. And, actually, Not Sorry is going to be very sorry that he took a bit of a misstep off the side of that mountain. Just collapsing and breaking a couple of his shins. Not going to be feeling too good about that one, as iEnvy is now rolling up to try and potentially capitalize on the situation. We'll see if they can put the hits in, or if the Not Gaming squad will be able to hold on to themselves, especially considering Complexity is moving in from behind as well.
Yeah, well, it could be all downhill from here. We'll find out soon enough which way around it's going to go. Some grants coming up once again there from iEnvy, just up into the players there from Not Gaming. Revolution also still putting the hits in. And Complexity, of course, now just slowly but surely making their way up, closing in. Let's see, they might be able to pull off a pretty sneaky third party if they play this one well.
Yeah, that is definitely the possibility. For now, the Not Gaming squad is going to be sandwiched in between these two teams, and they're going to have to take out a lot of players to keep themselves alive here. And, well, Complexity, well, they're going to be taking some hits, actually. In the meantime, the Rogue Warrior is doing the same across the map as well. But now the Not Gaming squad is moving up with a vengeance here. They don't care that they're getting sandwiched. They don't care that these players are moving in on them. They're just going to start putting their hits in, start wiping them out, and not letting them get anything going for themselves here. It doesn't matter how many teams go up against us. We'll still take the fight against you. We're just going to push straight up in there. And, well, Not Gaming seems to be putting those hits in.
Well, and it seems like one of the Complexity players might have gone AFK ever so slightly. Just maybe.
Well, it's a bit of an unfortunate spot to be in there. And the other set of unfortunate spots is going to be here with the players from Not Gaming, who have indeed been very mercilessly taken out by this blue zone here, having just trying to survive it. They get knocked out with extreme prejudice, as the blue zone has no biases. It just takes you out, and well, it sends you back to the lobby, and that's what we're going to be seeing here. We'll see if Not Gaming can hold on a little bit longer. iEnvy going to be just off towards the south. There we have the players from the Revolution as well. Just even further down south, we've got the players from the Rogue Warriors, who also need to rotate their way on up. They have a distance to go. The Dream Team making their way in now. And Piggy also just pushing in towards the north of the zone here. So, yeah, team's going to just have to make their way up in there, secure themselves in that zone. And now is where we're really going to see the fights get crazy. And Cyclops going to start us off there. Momo going to be the next to fall. We're going to see the fights really, really start to happen now.
Oh, a lot of hits now going off all over the place. So Killer Instinct now really getting hit hard by the players here from the Rogue Warriors. We're seeing the Revolution team up on the hill also now coming in with a few third-party shots. Oh, there we go. Up comes the hit. Oh, Nunarix. Nunix.
Yeah.
I said Nunarix, whatever. Nunix getting taken down. So Shark now the last hope for left here for the team. And Icebox puts him in one and sends him backing right back into that lobby. We're watching the players here from Revolution, of course, not trying to close in on the team there from SHELLSHOCK, and of course the players from iEnvy, who we have in the compound just up ahead. The team from Not Gaming, as you can see, just over towards that north, still in it to win it. And the Dream Team also making their way up there from the northwestern side. And, well, we've got one remaining player there. Well, two, sorry. Rotti and Icebox for, well, the Rogue Warriors. I'm so tempted to say Rottweilers now. But anyway, here they go, trying to outrun the hits as it comes in from Kato. Just managing to get that hit into Icebox, and off he goes now. Getting claimed by the blue zone. Rotti now, the last one to make his push. Let's see, will he be able to pull it off? Will he make it? And no, lobby it is. Blue zone, as you mentioned, being absolutely relentless.
Yep.
Just putting in the damage there and sending those teams off.
Yeah, Now we got the players from Revolution right off to the side up here between SHELLSHOCK and iEnvy, and SHELLSHOCK going to be tossing those Gorens up there, making sure that they're putting the damage in before they make their way on up and put the hits in towards the players from Revolution. Now they do have to be careful. Revolution's got quite the numbers advantage, but they're playing smart, and if they continue to do so, they could potentially win this one out. They just need to make a concise push towards these two players here in the building, one of which is already down. That could potentially make their day a lot easier, and they could win it out. But yeah, they have to play really smart here, and iEnvy as well. They need to be aware of that positioning, because they could potentially just throw a spanner in the works as well. So we're going to see if Revolution can take down these two teams and secure themselves that, or if these players here will be able to make something happen.
Well, as you can see, we've got all 5 teams on the map at the current moment. We've got Revolution, SHELLSHOCK, iEnvy, Dream Team, and Not Gaming. So Dream Team just way off in the distance, covering themselves up in the smokes there. And of course now SHELLSHOCK and iEnvy. Well, Inspector just holding on as long as he can, trying to sneak around as much as he can to get up into a better position. And we might actually see the hits coming in. But there we go. Not Gaming actually now putting those hits right into the Dream Team, as they are now trying to make their way up in towards zone. Inspector moving up. He's been spotted by Revolution, trying to make a quick dash into hard cover. Gets scissored right there in between the team from Revolution. And SHELLSHOCK now also having to move up. So let's see, will Wonder and Mr. Cage be able to make it up in towards zone successfully? Revolution just waiting for them to make them push. There we go. Wonder getting taken down. I don't think SHELLSHOCK is going to make it through the zone, but if they do, Revolution is definitely going to be there waiting for them to come in. In fact, all the teams are now just focusing their attention to this point here.
Yeah, I think SHELLSHOCK are basically done and dusted here. Now it's just a case of who wins this out between these teams here. We've got, of course, the players there from Not Gaming. We have the players from Revolution. We've got those players from the Dream Team. Left in the zone at the moment is Kage, just going to be taken out there. Nothing really that they can do at this point, unless they manage to heal themselves up something big and just make a huge dash up into the zone suddenly, which seems a bit far-fetched at the moment. Kage obviously just trying to hang on by a thread, and well, the seconds are ticking away, and so is the damage on that blue zone. And now we're left with those final 3 teams, and the hits now coming across.
Yeah, and Killer Bean managing to get that quick res in on Lucid Shark. So we got Sorry, and now also getting a few hits into that direction there. And of course the players there from Revolution sitting very comfortable in the hardcover / smoke screen that they've got set up for themselves there. But well, all the teams kind of need to make their push up in towards this final piece of the zone. As you can see, it is quite the open piece of land that we've got here. So if Killer Bean plays this one well, you might even be able to capitalize on that position. Lucid Shark not getting hit in the process. So let's see, will Jagger and Sorry also be able to make it in the blue zone, about to force all the teams forward. Now this is definitely where you're going to see all those kills and frags, of course, now coming in as the teams go at it. Oh, Sorry goes down. Jagger, the last hope for left, hiding behind that rock. Let's see, will he make Dream Team? And now just capitalizing on the exposure there from the other players. Now this is the kind of moment of truth. Jagger goes down. Kato finishes him off. And it is now Revolution up against, well, Killer Bean, who's out in the blue. And I think we're going to see Dream Team getting taken out by that blue zone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, there it is. Done and dusted. Nice and quick. So,
D-E-D.
Yeah, that was an interesting, I think, that was an interesting mid to late game. It started off kind of started off slow, but we expected that to happen. You know, it's Miramar, it's gigantic. There are a lot less teams than the maximum. So not a surprise that we saw a bit of a slow start. But a really nice way to finish things off. A good leverage of that, that cover, a good leverage of that mountain space, nice fights, and then, a solid closer.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And we had the players there from Revolution finishing off with 14 kills in that chicken dinner spot. We got the Dream Team finishing off with 3 in second place. Not Gaming finishing their play with 7 kills in third place. SHELLSHOCK with only 1 kill in fourth. iEnvy coming in with 8 kills in fifth place. We got the Rogue Warriors finishing off with 4 in sixth place. Then, of course, we got the players here from Killer Instinct finishing up in 7th place with 2 kills. We got the players from, I think this is Red 66, finishing in 8th place with the 2 kills. Complexity in 9th place. We've got the team there from the Pubgees in 10th place. The Liberators in 11th place. We've got Charlie finishing up in 12th place. And of course, we got the players here from Mulah Six in 13th. And Tears of Chaos finishing off in 14th place.
Yeah, kind of sad that we saw Miragic go out so early, you know, like such a good showing. They could have survived a lot longer if they just managed to close that one out. It was really it was a really nice play. Hopefully we'll see that yeah, it was magic. So hopefully we'll see that again, and maybe they get a little bit more ahead next time.
Well, we are going into yet another Miramar map after this one. So, yeah, without much further ado, let's get into that intermission while we wait for the next round to get underway. And we'll bring you right back into Game 3. Right, so, see you guys in a bit.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. Let go, don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Keep me waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. I just wanna be happy.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe close, it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
can buy it. Wasn't real with you, boy. Real, wasn't real with you, boy. You won't give me too much chances. I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fencing brighter. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. I'm not the girl that I used to be. Sometimes I'm more than words. I'm beyond what I once was. I don't believe in love. Hey, if I want something, I got it. Hey, oh baby, I don't need lonely. Hey, cause I live, I cannot buy it. Wasn't real with you, boy. Real, wasn't real with you, boy. You won't give me too much chances. I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fencing brighter. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, we are getting straight back into the third round. Miramar once again. So yeah, we're just waiting to see if everyone is in the lobby. Well, that will be joining us for this round, of course. So yeah, once the last 1 or 2 players moves up into their spot, we can hit the start button, get this match underway, and then of course bring you guys right into that action that we are waiting for and hoping for. So let's see. Right, so the match has started. We're about to enter, and well, hopefully we'll see a bit of a difference in this one. You know, hopefully we'll see the teams turning up some of that aggression, putting in some more shots.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big map. Honestly, I don't expect things to change from the previous one all too much. You know, we've got a big map. You know, there's a lot of space. You know, there's not like a huge amount of teams, so there's going to be a little bit of a lull, meaning maybe we'll see a couple of the early fights that happen, you know, just here and there. But ultimately, we're mostly going to be waiting to the mid to late for things to really start to happen, which is fine as long as we, you know, get spicy stuff as per usual. Then, you know, I'm not going to be too angry about it.
Yeah, no, well, can't complain about that at all. So, well, let's see what is going to happen as, you know, the teams now, as you can see in the lobby here, are iEnvy in slot 2. We got the players there from Killer Instinct over in 3. Got Complexity sitting in, no, Killer Instinct in 5. That's what I meant to say. Complexity sitting in 6. We got the Liberators over in 7. We've got SHELLSHOCK in 10. We've got the players there from Not Gaming in 11. We've got, well, the players there from BV Charlie in 14. We've got the team from Mulah Six in 15. We've got the team from Red 66 in 16. Revolution in 17. Dream Team in 19. The Rogue Wars over in 21. And then, of course, the Pubgees over in slot 22.
Yeah. So we've got the flight path now headed down. This time around, it's not going to give access to as much of the map as it did before. This time, it's going all the way from the midway point of the eastern side there, all the way down to the island, just down towards the southwest. So maybe we'll see a bit of see a bit of action there. Somehow I doubt it, but maybe it's still a possibility. Otherwise, we still have a couple of spots that these players can drop. They're not really going to want to go too far. You know, there's already enough space as it is. Getting all the way out there is probably not the best idea. So hopefully they just keep a little closely knit, you know, get up there, get looted, and then get those fights going.
Well, let's see how this goes. And as you can see, we've got the players there from the Pubgees already heading out towards that northern side into Tierra Bronca. And a few other teams, of course, now slowly but surely making their way all over the place. Well, we've got Revolution, the players from Not Gaming, as well as Charlie, right? They're heading in towards the graveyard and, well, Minas Generales. So hopefully a few hits will be flying back and forth from there. And we're also seeing the players there from Mulah Six and Red 66 heading up towards the, well, the Puerto area. And, of course, the Liberators, and as well as the players there from Complexity heading up what seems to be possibly Picado, and then the Rogue Warriors and the Killer Instinct team heading up in towards Chumacera. Alright, so let's jump up into here and see what we got going. Teams being close, not even in Mermar terms, but they are, well, yeah, legit quite close.
Yeah, I mean, they're out here, they're up here. So, yeah, hopefully they can get those pieces of equipment that they need, and then maybe just start scouting it out, get a feel for where one another is placed, and then go for it. See if they can get some hits, get some early aggression going, take out some of the players here from the Not Gaming squad. And, well, I mean, the Not Gaming squad actually did a pretty good job of staying alive and really taking up a pole position in the previous map. So I would be surprised if we saw them go out so early. They seem to be a very capable team, and they really know how to leverage a good position. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if a fight ensues, and if it does, you know, how it sort of plays out.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. I mean, these teams are getting quite close together, so the potential is there. Potential is definitely there. And let's have a quick look at the map, just trying to see where the remainder of the teams are. So we got those two teams over in Chumacera, and well, yeah, that's that, and then of course the two teams over here in Puerto. So let's quickly jump up in towards Puerto, see what we got cooking here. We got Piggy and the company right there with the players, of course, from Mulah Six. Just up ahead of them, you can see Poison, Karma, Shade, and Joker. So now you're just waiting to see what is going to happen and where the shots are going to go. Ooh, flying right up towards Poison.
Yeah, so at least a couple of the early engagements happening, which is nice. You know, it spices up the early rounds at least, which is nice. So we'll see if Ezio here can maybe make something happen here with this shotgun. It's not much, but you know when you take a shotgun to the face, you know you can't really say too much about that. So yeah, maybe he can do some work with this right here.
Yeah, well, that is true. So let's see. Maybe he might get it done. Oh, there you go. Poison pushing up once again. Shots now from Dark Ghost flying right in. Karma steps up. Ezio puts the hit in. Wow, some great shooting. Joker
Yeah,
now
there
the
it
next
is.
one up. Let's see. Will Joker be able to get those hits in? The shots flying up still from Dark Ghost. Joker trying to find the angle. Coming in with his Tommy. Ooh, spots Mr. Shocks.
Yeah, that's yeah, you know, you get a shotgun to the face, you're definitely going to be feeling that one, and the visual proof is right here for us to witness. Now it's going to be Joker to try and hold on to some things here for the team, just push the players back, make sure that the advancing is not as quickly as they would like it. We'll see if they can just heal themselves up a little bit and get it going again. These two teams are sitting quite close here, just a couple of buildings apart, so definitely still some potential for re-engagements. But yeah, the question is, do they really want to take the re-engagements here? Because they've got quite a distance to cover to get up into that zone, and they'll want to free themselves up relatively soon. So hopefully for them, this fight comes to an end relatively soon, or sooner rather than later at least.
You know, we'll see if Karma and Shade can also get that push in. The players there from Red 66 now more huddled up together. Now the red zone also coming into play, so it makes it a little bit more interesting for these teams. You know, if they try and risk it moving up to the next compound, you know, they're also going up against that red zone. So let's see Ezio now coming in, Piggy as well as Shocks, all of them just stepping it up right over towards Karma. Let's see, will Piggy be able to catch him? Yes, he does get the hit in. Ooh, Shade now coming up from the side, trying to get a few more hits. So Shade and Joker now the two hopefuls left here for the team, of course, from Mulah Six. Joker taking a quick few hits, getting knocked out in the process, and now it is just Shade.
Yeah, that's a difficult spot to be in, and he knows it. I think he's just going to try and get out as quickly as possible. He knows the odds are stacked against him at this point, and he'll just want to get out, rotate around, and well, he might just be relegated to the solo game here. Don't think he'll be able to res any of his teammates at this point. Yeah, I think it's pretty much done and dusted. So he is going to be playing for the long game and see how long he can survive. Maybe get those placements and potentially get a couple of kills off the back of some surprise attacks from behind.
Well, we will find out in due course what is going to happen in that section. But of course, we still have, you know, those two teams over in Chumacera. So there is some potential for action. Just having a quick look at the map, trying to make sure that we don't miss anything else. But yeah, let's jump up over to the Rogue Warriors here, as the shots are now flying back and forth between the two teams. Mr. Icebox and Gunley, now the last two. Gunley trying to get that res in, gets a quick in on Nunex. Cyclops now swooping in, getting a quick hit in as well. Let's see, will Icebox be able to pull this one off? He is now the last hope for his team here. Oh, gets a quick hit in. There we go.
Yeah, nice and close here. The shots flying across at the moment. It's going to be Shark to close things out there. The hits come through. And yeah, so these early fights are happening now, just here and there, wiping a couple of the teams off the board, you know, just as we had hoped would happen, which is great to see. But now we don't really have that many teams that are uber close. We've got a zone where there's a lot of open space, which means the teams can move on up in here, just settle in and not really do anything too active. So I guess at this point, the rotations will really be the true telltale of if we're going to see some fights here, or if we're just going to have to wait for the zone to come in and make something happen.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely see what will happen. We got Dunset and Squish, making their push up in towards that zone. As you can see, there's no one up ahead of them.
Yeah. Bless you there, good sir.
There we go, there we go. So the teams, of course, now still making their rush up. Squish and Co trying to get in, and Mr. Shade now, well, he's managed to get into a vehicle. Let's see, will he try and push up all the way up in towards that zone? We're looking at the team there from Charlie, of course, now all the way up in San Martin. And the team there from the Revolution making their move as well, heading up into, well, possibly San Martin. And of course also the Pubgees coming down there from Campo Militar as the blue zone is now approaching, and the teams need to get up in towards that zone. So we're waiting to see where it is that they're going to go, and hopefully we'll see those teams then, you know, start bumping into each other, and well, maybe even bumping heads.
Yeah, we'll see if we do see that, of course, as the teams start to make their way up. That blue zone is making its way in, just pushing the teams closer up in there towards the zone. But like I said, it's a very big zone, so there's plenty of space for these teams to get on up inside. There's lots of space for them to make their way in and then settle down. Nothing too crazy has to happen here. The gatekeeping is going to be a little bit difficult as well. The space just a little bit too large. Most teams will be able to slip past, even if you do try it. So yeah, I guess if the teams start bumping into one another, maybe we could see some fights happening. You can see Shade just making his way up there, very close to a couple of the players there from SHELLSHOCK, but yeah, I mean, whether they're going to spot him out or not is a different story. They might not even be looking for him. Of course, just one single player is a lot easier to conceal than an entire team, you know. So that's why playing solo is always a great way to be sort of ninja, or maybe even go for those hide and seek awards, because you know you can move yourself around with a lot more concealability, and so yeah, it's just you can really surprise people. You can do some unexpected things. You can move yourself around, slip out of situations, slip in. So yeah, maybe we'll see him do something here if he can survive long enough to get into those final few zones. Maybe we'll see something crazy happening here. He will be able to just bob and weave and dodge around. No players will really be spotting him out at this point. So yeah, I guess we're just waiting for the teams to start making their way in, get a bit close. Maybe they'll become a bit more central, find one another, take some fights. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yep. We shall see indeed. And we're waiting now. Well, see where the teams are going to go to. Dream Team slowly but surely making their way up. We see them still down in that blue zone. And the players, of course, they're from Kill Squad. Oh, sorry. Killer Instinct. I don't know why it's Kill Squad. I just knew it was Kill something. But in any case, Killer Instinct making their way out of Chumacera, heading up in towards the zone. And, well, the remainder of the team's also doing it, but we're seeing a few slow rotations there. The blue zone managing to catch up with those teams. And, well, hopefully, well, fortunately, rather, it is only the first... Yeah, it's only the first zone, so it's not doing that much damage just yet. So they are kind of safe in a sense. You know, they can still afford to be out in the blue zone. But hopefully they manage to outrun that zone, make it up in towards the safe zone. And of course, then you know,
get into the zone.
Happen to find themselves in the company of some opposing teams and put those shots in.
Yes, of course. They just exchange a couple of heated greetings and maybe just find some shots. Oh, Squish could potentially find someone, although might just want to lay low and not really get noticed, which seems to be what's going on there, as the rest of the teams are now moving their way on up into the zone. And the next zone is going to fall relatively central to pretty much everything. So the three teams that are sitting inside there, they're going to be quite happy. The rest of the teams that are rotating up from the south, they're going to have to really leg it now, because that blue zone is going to make its way up once again, and they're going to have to get into the zone as quickly as they can, unless they want to get caught out again.
Yeah. Well, let's see who's gonna leg it up, and we've got the players there from Charlie, as you can see, in the zone right there with Revolution, as well as Not Gaming, and well, the Liberators just now coming into that zone. So we're waiting to see who will be the next team to make it up into a zone, as it well, yeah, there's quite some ground still left to cover to make it up.
Yeah, so let's see if they can make that distance.
Shade putting those shots into preset. So he is not done yet. He is out in the blue though, but getting those hits in. So Wonder and preset both getting knocked. We got Mr. Kage and Zero. Ooh, I wonder where they are. Ooh,
they're
all the way up in the northern part.
Yeah, so they're done. They're done. Shade has successfully beaten them, basically. There's no chance for them to win this one. Shade just needs to get himself up, because if he goes down here, it's going to be a little bit of an oops. And speaking of a bit of an oops there, we're going to see some players just riding themselves over for the fun.
Yeah, as one does win on this map.
Of course.
You know, Mr. Cyclops there getting himself knocked, and I think, well, this might be part of the problem.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, just maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But here they
Could
are
have
now
had something to do
stranded
with it.
out in the open, having to run up in towards that zone. They've got quite some ground still left to cover, and well, yeah. In the meantime, we're seeing these three teams up in the central part of the zone, getting very close yet again in Miramar terms. So we got Fricky, Sicario, Buzzed off in the distance there. And Mr. Frogman, as well as the players there from Revolution, just over towards that, well, area there close to Hacienda del Patron.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we'll start to see the fights happening around this central area, and depending on where the zone drops next, we might just see them continue to just draw closer to one another, just push in further. You can see all the teams now making their way up. The only teams that are really outside of the fighting area at the moment, or the area where the potential fight could start to break out, is going to be the Dream Team, who have rotated their way all the way around and will be coming in there towards the northwest. So they're pretty happy. The rest of the teams will be coming in from the south, which does mean that they are going to be getting in nice and snug with one another, potentially start to put some hits across.
Yeah, and that is definitely what we're waiting for. Hoping to see, you know, these last, well, these last few stragglers make their way up in towards that zone, and well, then just stumble across a few of the other players, because that is what we're waiting for. The zone, of course, being immensely big, and well, yeah, it takes some time before these teams, you know, then in fact start bumping into each other. So hopefully we might see a few things between Complexity and the players there from Killer Instinct, as they are rolling up in the same kind of direction there, and we're seeing the team from SHELLSHOCK just over towards the western side of the players there. Ooh, Dream Team getting hit out in the red zone.
Oh,
there
no.
we go. Red zone strikes. That is what we were waiting for. Derek and Funky, I think it is. Oh, Lizard Shark and Killer Bean getting hit by a killer hit there by the red zone, just popping it off. It's not every day that we see this. So well done, well played. Here we go.
That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's always quite entertaining to watch as the players get a hit. And up comes Funky, now moving up for that hit. There we go. So they're about to get rest up. Fortunately, they are in zone. So, you know, no immediate danger there from the zone, but
Yeah.
we have the players here from Hot Dog, man. The players here from Killer Instinct getting those hits and putting those shots right in towards, well, Mulah Six. So they just managed to get a few hits in there. And I think that might have been the end of Mulah Six. Let's have a quick gander. Yes, Mulah Six has been sent back into the lobby. So well done, Killer Instinct. Staying true to their name, putting those hits in and sending the team right back into the lobby. Now let's see, will they use their instincts to rotate up into a pretty good position, or, well, are they going to be shot at and, well, then, you know, have the favor returned with them getting sent into that zone, into the lobby?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the question that's really bringing our minds right now. The shots should start to come in within the next zone or two, and as the new zone about to be chosen, we're going to see where these teams have to rotate up towards, and well, we're going to see the driving skills here from Shark as well in the meantime, really just clapping it outdoors there, outbacking it in the 4x4. The zone is going to move up towards the north, though, and it is going to force all the teams up once again. So all of these teams are going to have to move up. They have just been dragging down from the south pretty much this whole game so far. But what that means is that we're going to see a pretty populated southern portion, and that means potential fights. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, we might see the Pubgees now putting some hits in over towards the players there from iEnvy, as Well, up they come. iEnvy rolling up in their direction. Shots now flying off. VSS. Ooh. Just hear those shots coming in. Now let's see. Will they be able to pull them off? So the fortunate thing about that VSS, you have absolutely no idea where these shots are coming from.
Yeah.
There's no indication on the map whatsoever. So it makes it fairly interesting. Oh, there we go. Maniac coming in with a quick hit on Mulah. So down he goes. Pilgrim now rotating up. Inspector sneaking up the side. Gets the hit in.
Yeah. These are the squabbles just happening outside of that zone, and the red zone coming down once again as it does mercilessly just taking and making sure these players not really sticking around for too long. You can see the hits now coming in. iEnvy making sure to just take those Pubgees, and we'll toss them back to the PUBG lobby.
Yep. No, that is the case, and what we're seeing the players here from Charlie as well, just making their way around through San Martin. We've got the team, of course, they're from the DKGaming right behind them, putting their heads into Mr. Buzzed. He might get buzzed into the lobby if he's not careful, because he is quite exposed and also in the red zone. So it could be quite interesting seeing what's going to happen. Down comes the bombs there, just dropping off all over the place. Sicario being a brave soul, making a quick dash for it. Revolution up, putting a few hits in as well in the kill feed.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we've seen some nice things happening here as these teams start to rotate their way on up. A couple of just skirmishes happening outside of the zone as they do make their way on up, rotating in towards the zone. Kato going to be taking some hits in towards Shocks. In the meantime, that is of course going to be the players from Revolution who are up in that zone already. They're just sitting pretty up in that direction. So yeah, we've got some nice little skirmishes happening across the map, and as the players make their way into the zone, they'll be setting up, and they can start putting some shots across to one another a little bit more consistently once they have themselves set up.
Yeah, well, we got the Pubgees now. Oh, Cyclops getting yet another hit. Let's jump up. That, of course, being the Liberators getting run over in the process. Shark running himself over. Killer Instinct. Ooh, suffering a few casualties there as the Liberators are now trying to liberate their fallen, well, team members there. Let's see, will Mr. Blackbane be able to land the final few hits? Oh, Cyclops getting that first. Let's see. Momo and Cyclops, the two hopefuls there for Killer Instinct. Here we go. Ooh, he's going to try and go for that res. You can do it. You can do it.
We believe.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit of hesitation there, getting that res in. Ooh, I don't think he's gonna make it now. The team is still far away.
Yeah, I think it's done. That's too much damage. The res could potentially come in, but even so, that blue zone is making its way on up. The rest of Killer Instinct is moving in, and yeah, that hesitation from Black Pain is just not going to bode well. Teammate will go down, and he will be taken out momentarily just after that. And now the zone is moved in. It's going to shift up once again. It is coming in very, very quickly now. These final few zones are eventually going to be making their way on in. We have 9 teams and 30 players left in this lobby at the moment, in this map. They're going to be moving their way on in. A couple of teams already inside there. You can see the Dream team is there. SHELLSHOCK making their way on up as well. iEnvy coming in from the south. The DKGaming team just down towards the south as well. Of course, the Killer Instinct team, who we just saw, will also be having to make their way up out of that blue zone if they can. Some shots now coming down over here from the Revolution team. Also just trying to put them in across to the Pubgees here, who are on the edge of the zone as well. Charlie squad going to be making their way up in as well. So, yeah, these teams now finally going to be close enough to really start consistently taking fights.
Up comes the Revolution team, though, Mr. Carter and Maga rolling the vehicle as they approach in, but now pushing up aggressively, gets the first hit. Oh, down goes the Pubgees. Lobby it is for them, but now we've got that team there from Charlie just putting up some few hits over towards the players here from Revolution as they are now caught out in the open as the attention has been drawn right over towards their position. And a few more teams just moving in from that western side.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely interesting. We have the Not Gaming squad, we have iEnvy, we even have the Killer Instinct moving up from that direction. So they're all just gonna be putting in some shots towards one another. iEnvy gonna be doing some explosion work over towards the Not Gaming squad as the assault does come through. And they're fighting over this rocky terrain here, just one after the other in a big train, just trying to take one another out as they come up towards the zone. The ultimate goal was to try and get into the zone, but now the skirmishes are delaying that process. The Not Gaming squad is going to make their way in, and now they can turn their sights over towards iEnvy and start gatekeeping them a little bit.
We've got Inspector busy climbing up the hill. Up he goes. There we go, right up to the top there. And
that's some Skyrim right there.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, beautiful push though. Some crazy shots coming in. Let's see, will Maniac be able to finish this off? The team there from Killer Instinct taking quite a bit of casualties in the process. Come on, one more hit and he wipes the whole team. I mean, it's always you know, I wonder what the people think when they watch their gameplay, you know, afterwards. To see how close they actually were to getting those wipes.
Yeah.
I mean, woo. Yeah.
Yeah, and some nice gren work is going to mean that it's a difficult spot now that they find themselves in. That blue zone has made its way up. It does a lot of damage at this point, so these teams are really going to be feeling it now. They're going to try and make their way up, and iEnvy just going to be putting the shots in a last-ditch attempt to put the hits in, to put some kills on the board as they make their way in. In the meantime, that zone has fallen all the way towards the west. Inspector going to be just yeeting himself straight out of the vehicle there. The team there from the Dream Team has made their way on into the zone. They're sitting pretty happily with quite a nice full squad there. The rest of the team's just straggling their way on from the south there. You can see Not Happy is not very happy at the moment. Really just trying to dance around the smoke and get the shots in. Can he land them though?
This is going to be super. Oh, well, Not Happy is definitely happy right now. Managing to get those hits into iEnvy. So some beautiful work there. Managing to dance around that vehicle. But now Revolution is moving up from the eastern side. Putting the hits up. And well, down goes Sorry. So Happy is now the last hope for left. So Revolution not letting them get away with it just yet.
Yeah, definitely you don't want to let them get away with it. And if you can help it, you can just take them out. Happy, of course, going to be trying to hunker down here. Try and do some shots, maybe just stay alive for as long as possible as Revolution do launch a bit of an assault up towards in his direction. In the meantime, of course, SHELLSHOCK, the Dream Team have made their way on up. Happy actually going to try and get in the rotate. Going to be just zooming down the mountain, but it's not enough. The shots come through. That's the danger right there of doing what you do. And, well, once again, we have a nice explosion coming in there, just eliminating him out of the match.
Yeah, well, he was right there in the danger zone. You can see the team here from Revolution really managing to move up. The team there from Red 66 just camping it out in the compound here, trying to gatekeep the teams as they're now trying to make their way up in towards zone. We've got a few more hits also flying across just off in the distance. So let's see what is going to happen. Revolution now moving up, shots flying in from Piggy. Piggy goes down, and Lobby, it is Revolution just wiping the floor with them there.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they needed to do right now. You can see Nanexar is going to be trying to make the distance. They're trying to make the sprint happen, but will be shut down there by Kato. And now we have our final 4 teams remaining here. We've got 13 players on the board. The Charlie squad going to be making their way down towards the Dream Team, who is trying to put the hits in as that blue zone does move up. So this could potentially be a good play that they're doing right here. Derek obviously going to be trying to put the hits in as they make their way on up. Here it comes, cresting the hill, and well, it's not going to happen. Derek is going to go down. Charlie squad not going to be taken out just yet. They know they need to make it, but the shots from SHELLSHOCK actually also going to be doing a bit of damage there. So, well, now we have 3 remaining teams, that of course being Revolution, SHELLSHOCK, and the Dream Team.
And the shots are still continuing to fly across all over the place forever. Moving up right there, up to the team from Dream Team. So let's see what will happen. Oh, Killer Bean goes down. So now Funky is the last remaining player for the Dream Team. Will Funky be able to do enough damage and get some potential hits into the Revolution team? Or will they get sent back to the lobby? Let's see. The moment of truth is upon us.
Yeah, we certainly will. SHELLSHOCK is here, where they have been putting some decent hits in at the moment, but they've got to put in quite a few into the Revolution team here in order to knock them out. They have to do a lot of work, and of course there is this last remaining Dream Team player that could potentially do something spicy.
Yeah, well, let's see. The shot's still flying in, just trying to avoid the hits, but not successfully so far. Let's see, is it going to be the end? Yep, there we go. It's Zero yet again with another sneak attack.
Yeah, that cross is just placed right in the right direction, making sure that no one is going to escape the wrath of the lead. It is just going to fly straight on up, and now we are left with our final two teams, and the hits are going to come through immediately. It's just Revolution Squad, they're just pulling the trigger on this one. They have no holding back at the moment. They just want to finish this one out. They know they've got the advantage, and now it's just Zero to try and hold on to this.
Well, let's see. Up they come. Zero is the last one left. Oh, he's being circled. And drum roll, please.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. He's going to try and put the shots in, but it comes straight through the smoke.
Oh.
Done and dusted.
Yeah, no, that's pretty tough, you know. Yeah, that was really tough game there, but nonetheless, well played to the players from Revolution, managing to pull off 12 kills and the chicken dinner. Let me just mute this one. There we go. We got the players from SHELLSHOCK coming in second place with 2 kills. We got the Dream Team with 1 kill in third place. We got the Charlie Squad there, of course, in fourth place with 2. The team from Killer Instinct, I believe it is. Yes, sir. Finishing up in 5th place, coming in with a very comfortable 8 kills. And of course, the players here from Red 66 finishing off in 6th place with 4 kills. Not Gaming finishing off in 7th with 2. iEnvy in 8th place, finishing with 8 kills. Then we got the Pubgees there in 9th place. The Liberators in 10th. Complexity in 11th place. The players, of course, they're from Mulah Six in 12th place. And then, of course, the team from the Rogue Warriors finishing it off in 13th place. So there we go. There we go. Interesting turn of events for that match.
Yeah, it's, I mean, Miramar starts out as it usually does, but this time around we get a little bit of extra early aggression, which is nice, a bit of early action, good to watch. Then we progress in through the rest of the match, and we just saw the teams rotating in from the south again and again as the zone just shifted up, and they were sort of accumulating towards the bottom, which allowed them to take some more fights just over the stretch of time. And then we end up with a nice little final zone there that Zero putting in some good shots just off in the building there in the distance, just keeping all the players punished, but ultimately couldn't really close it out. 1v5, 1v4, you know, not an easy spot to be in, and there it is.
Well, it was a pretty tough position to be in with having a whole squad just rush up into, you know, it's tough, you know, it's not the easiest position to defend, but I mean, he did try and he did smoke it up, and well, yeah, pretty good attempt though. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but hey, it was worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah. So
well,
at least now the rest one we'll be seeing is Erangel, so yeehaw.
Yeah, one more to go. So match 4 about to come up in a few minutes time. So stay tuned. We will be back shortly after the intermission.
I live inside my own world, make believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. bright. It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping away. Dreams got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good.
the picture of you looking like a star shines, and you bright, 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 like the lights on a fight night, night. Love hit me like a mic, mic, mic. You know I'ma get it right, right, right. So stay with me, run away with me. Need like a dope fiend, need dope. Need like a coke fiend, need coke. Even though your heart cold, ski slope. I really hope the song bringing me close.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so we are getting ready for our fourth and final round of the night. This, of course, being back once again on the Erangel map. So the match has gotten underway. We are just waiting for everything to load up so we can jump up straight in towards the action. So yeah, it's definitely going to be quite interesting seeing these teams coming all the way from Miramar back to Erangel now, changing things up ever so slightly. And well, we'll see how this thing goes.
Yeah, it seems going to be a little bit closer this time, so we'll probably see a little bit more consistent fighting, at least hopefully. Yeah, that's what we'll see. You know, the map being a little bit smaller means there's a lot more chance to discover the teams, to pin them down, to find them out, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so I guess we'll see if that is the case. Of course, maybe the first zone will not be as eventful, but who knows? I guess we'll see once that flight path drops, once the zone drops, we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the teams that we've got in the lobby. That, of course, being the players from iEnvy once again over in slot 2. The players there from Killer Instinct in slot 5. We've got the players from Complexity over in slot 6. The teams there from the Liberators, or the team from the Liberators over in slot 7. Just seeing one single team. We've got SHELLSHOCK over in 10 and Not Gaming in 11. We've got the players there from, well, Charlie over in slot 14. We've got the team from Mulah Six in 15. We've got Revolution in 17. The Dream Team in 19, and then of course the players from, well, the Rogue Warriors over in slot 21.
Yeah, so 11 teams overall. The flight path are going to be able to take us from Malta Power all the way over to the western coast, so just straight across from one side to the other. That's going to give the teams access to most of the spots where they want to drop. They'll be able to go up to Chinky School, Rozok, South George if they want to. Can go down to the military base as well. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. No, I'm just kidding. There's honestly not enough players in this lobby right now to really warrant the out-of-your-way utilization of the map. So, I mean, they can pretty much drop wherever they want. They'll most likely be uncontested for the most part. And the real kick is really just going to be where the zone is going to land.
Yeah, let's see. So, well, we're waiting for everything now. As the teams make their way around, 11th in the lobby. Well, ooh, we got some early game action right here. That's the Inspector just going ham right there, and the Dream Team also landing here. So 3 teams right here in Malta. So definitely bringing in the action in the early game, which is what we love to see. The Liberators now just well rushing around. You can see Mr. King C caught in a very precarious position there as the Inspector now moves up, gets the hit in, and well, there's one player remaining for the Liberators. Blackpain getting taken down. Up he comes. You can hear those shots now just coming in there from Snow. Heading straight up towards Killer Bean. So yeah, now we wait to see what's going to happen. So definitely 3 of our 11 teams right here.
Yeah, definitely interesting one. I like the fact that these teams have really dropped sort of with one another. That early aggression is definitely going to help move things along. You don't want to draw this one out, really. I think everyone wants to sort of head off now. You know, it's late. Everyone's been out here. Most of the teams are sort of just tired of this one at this point. They just want to get those points in, and so some early drops, some early fights will definitely be nice. And I actually see that the Rogue Warriors have actually taken up residence down there inside the military base, so they get plus 100 patchy points right there. And well, the rest of the teams are going to be sitting there towards the map. You can see up, Pachinki, we have 2 teams, and iEnvy now is still going to be putting those hits in. The Dream Team also firing back with a couple of their own.
Yeah, well, we have the players from SHELLSHOCK also now moving up. So, well, 4 of those teams right here. That is definitely an interesting position to be in. And we got 2 teams, of course, sitting up in the Pachinki area there. Derek now just running, getting a quick few hits in. Let's see. Maniac moves up. Oh, down he goes. UMP versus Shoddy. Shoddy getting, well, second place there. Killer Bean now the last hope for left. Well, him and Funky. Never mind. Funky a little bit off to the side there. So waiting to see what is going to happen. As you can see, Funky now just moving up, but by mid, Killer Bean just waiting. Down comes Maniac. Oh, and the shots.
Yeah, 725 not as powerful in this game as it is in good old MW. So Shoddy not really going to come out on top of that one. And yeah, I'm liking this early action that we're seeing here. SHELLSHOCK actually also in the distance, so they could potentially put their 10 cents into this fight if they so desire. But yeah, for the moment, iEnvy just going to be sitting here in this building, just making sure that their crosshairs are down here towards this last remaining player, Snow, who is yeah, just taken out immediately with some very well placed shots.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an amazing shot. And well, we're seeing the team there from Not Gaming now moving and getting a quick few hits in the kill feed. And we also have Revolution right over here in Pachinki. Now just moving in on the players there from Charlie, just off in the distance. So let's see, will they be able to finish them off? We've got Sicario, Frogman, and Mr. Buzzed.
Yeah, Carter just on the roof here, trying to get some overwatch in towards the other buildings.
Shots flying into forever. We got Gang also now moving up. So let's see what happens. How will this fight end up? Who's gonna get the win for this region, or this area rather? You know, claim
that's really
Pachinki for themselves. Frogman, staying true to his name, just jumping off the balcony there. Very smooth move there. Let's see. Will they get it? Oh, trying to sneak up.
Oh.
Mr. Gang comes up and gangs up on him. Puts the hits in. Down he goes. Sicario and Buzzed. Now the 2 remaining hopefuls for the team here from Charlie and Forever. Gang now moving up. Ooh, Buzzed going down as well. So Sicario now all in his lonesome. Gang once again with the hits.
Just
is
not enough. I like the fact that we have these regional battles going on here. Just a couple of teams in each region across the map. They're just having the fights. Whoever wins them out is going to be the sort of the chosen team in that region. They'll just move on into the next zone and hopefully just collide with some of the other teams, which is a nice quick way to end things out. I mean, they could, if they actually played this one, I was actually going to mention this earlier, but the fight started happening. They could actually end this game before we even see the zone close in too much. Like, if the fight in down here below Melter is going to be won by a single team, and that single team gets moved up in towards the next zone, and the remaining teams all move up, and if in some universe they all manage to go up into the same spot, they could take the fight there, and we could have a winner within 2 to 3 zones. Theoretically, it's possible, but I don't think it's actually going to happen.
Well, we'll see how this, of course, then how it's going to go into this next round. Is we've got Mr. Funky here. Ooh, iEnvy now getting hit. The Boyka now the last hope for left here for iEnvy. Slowly but surely trying to move up, trying to get those hits in on the SHELLSHOCK team. Trying to see if he can find those hits. You can see Chronix just up ahead. Will he be able to hit those shots? Wonder also on the prowl.
Ooh. Boyka is just looking for those shots. He's just looking for it. Just looking, but he can't find it just yet. Trying to find the angle on towards the players here, potentially from SHELLSHOCK. And if he can find them, maybe he can get those hits and maybe he can get some knocks going. It's pretty powerful when it comes to getting those hits in. But yeah, they're gonna have to resolve this one at some point, because the rotations will have to come in eventually. But luckily we have a lot of time, so these players still have a lot of time to play with here in terms of with that blue zone coming in, because it does take quite a while. So the teams still have some time to play with. They can still do a lot of stuff. But hopefully they just continue being aggressive, because it's really been nice to see so far.
Well, we'll see how this one then, of course, unfolds for Mr. Boyka here. We've got Funky still alive, just off in distance. And then, of course, the Rogue Warriors still up in that Sosnovka base. So no movement really from them there. They're just enjoying their time, you know, well, getting all the loot that they could possibly need for the current moment. And, you know, then deciding to eventually rotate up. But we're waiting for this blue zone also now to start moving in. So we actually saw quite a few teams getting taken down. You know, in this early game, we've got only 8 teams now remaining, 26 players. So I think it might be a bit of a waiting game when we move on into the next few zones.
Yeah. If the teams don't find one another early on, once they rotate up, if they don't, you know, get into similar areas, then yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of a lull happening here towards the middle. It's going to take a little while for the teams just to start getting in, finding one another, etc. But if they do manage to, or happen to, should I say, come in towards the same place, then maybe we'll see the fights continue. I would very much like to see a lobby that gets ended within the first 3 zones. That would be really impressive, just in terms of, you know, what we've seen, because a lot of the time, you know, you see teams trying to really hold the distance. Actually, they're going to be lining up for Boyka here in the meantime. They almost just gave themselves away for free to him, not realizing that he had the angle. So some good damage coming out from him, but they're just going to hunt him straight down there. Kage relentless with that SMG there, just going to take him straight out. So yeah, a nice decisive move there. SHELLSHOCK going to come out on top in the region. The Dream team is going to be moving out. They have made their way across, so they're just off in the distance. Now, if we don't see them coming in close to one another, then yeah, this is where we see the activity drop off for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think Mr. Not Sorry here might have lost his 5 rand or something. Because he was looking for it on the floor here. Yep, no, he's still searching.
Well, I hope he finds it. You know, it's not nice to lose that.
There we go. And we're waiting for the teams now to start making their way up in towards the zone. So waiting for Not Gaming to still move in. And then, of course, the players there from the Rogue Warriors, you know, also yet to still come into the zone. And we'll see which way around they're going to go. Are they going to go for the Eastern Bridge, the Western Bridge? Could go kind of either way, and it is a pretty safe entrance for them, regardless of which bridge they do choose to come in on. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And of course, we have the players there from Mulah Six all the way over to that western edge as well. So we only have 7 teams remaining, 25 players.
Yeah.
We need to see what's going to happen, and hopefully we might see some action over there between Revolution and Not Gaming.
Yeah, potentially could happen here as Not Gaming are rotating their way on in. Hopefully they'll be moving towards the center, because I think that at this point, when there are so few teams on the board, you know, as a team, you're just thinking to yourself, all right, there's no real pressure across the map. Like, there's no reason that we can't go wherever we want, because the amount of teams that are remaining are so limited that if we do run into someone, we can most likely take a fight against them without worrying too much about the third parties, just because there's plenty of distance. You can see on the map, there's a lot of unclaimed space up there towards the north and the east. So I mean, there's nothing really stopping the teams from rotating right into the middle of the zone and just giving them that that good spot in terms of rotational power. So I mean, I'm hoping that the teams do start moving in there, because you know, you have sort of 2 options, right? You either wait it out and just wait for the zone to get small enough for the players to be 100% within your grasp and then go for the fights, or the players could sort of be in a proactive sort of mindset in terms of rotating into the middle of the map, and if they do so, they you know, advertently put themselves in distance of one another just to get that's happening. You know, otherwise we just sit here waiting for the timer to tick, waiting for the blue zone to come in, waiting for the zones to finally get, you know, a little bit smaller.
Yeah, well, we have the players here from Revolution now rolling up right on the team here from Not Gaming. Mr. Forever just this coming up all by his lonesome. The hits, of course, now just flying in, just quickly trying to make his escape down the hill. And we'll see whether or not the remainder of the team now move in. Now look at the zone, only 1 player in zone.
Yeah.
One player, not a 1 team, 1 player sitting in that zone. They're waiting now to see what these teams are going to do. Who, or rather, where are they going to go to? The shots now still flying up there from Not Gaming, right up towards the team here from Revolution. Shots coming in one by one. We got Mr. Mag, Mr. Gang, Forever, and of course Kato.
Yeah. It should sort of be protocol at this point for so little teams remaining to just start rotating in towards the center. I mean, right now you can see Yasnaya in the exact center of the map right here. It's basically a perfect spot to rotate up into. And of course it's Yasnaya, so you know what better a place to get in there. So I think that it should sort of be protocol for teams in a sense like this, just to say, all right, let's just get in towards that centralized area and see if there are any teams around and really just put ourselves on there. I know it's probably strategically not the best option, theoretically speaking, if you want to give yourself the best chance, then playing the long game is exactly what you should do. But do we really want to see them play the long game here?
Well, yeah, we don't know. But what's interesting to note, though, is that the players here from the Rogue Warriors, they've rolled up in towards Malta, which is so far south. And also, SHELLSHOCK hasn't rotated up into a zone just yet. You know, we've got some shots now coming in there. Mr. Kage getting hit. We've got Zero, Wonder, and Cryonics. Well, trying to move up. Let's see. Will Reggie be able to find any of these hits? This is, seeing that the map is so quiet, this is the ideal opportunity, as you said, to rotate up in towards zone, get into your position. Because, I mean, the zone is moving up in about a minute and, 20 seconds time. And we've got a few shots now still happening between the players here. So Revolution, fortunately deciding to move up towards the team here from Not Gaming.
Yeah.
They were first battling from way off in the distance, and now they've decided to move in. Kind of ignoring the red zone that's in play, but up they come. Okay, now just moving up. And, well, so far so good, though. I mean, everyone's still alive. Red zone. Oh, God, though, just missing that bomb going off right next to him.
Yeah, that's a lucky one, to say the least. And now they're going to be moving up towards the players here. Ooh, some shots coming through Revolution, trying to put the hits and explosions going off. That red zone is relentless, but it has ended. And now they will be coming in towards the attack coming out from Revolution. They're just going to put the hits into the Not Gaming squad here. Can they hold on?
Yeah, well, we will find out soon enough. The shots still ringing back and forth. We got Mr. Happy and Mr. Sorry. Now the last two hopefuls left there. You can hear the shots just flying up towards Happy as he's now smoking his way out, trying to get up back onto this hill, back into that vantage point. But the shots just flying in, getting him right there. Oh, let's see. Will Mr. Sorry be able to pull up in time and get that res in, or is he rather going to move up into a zone? Well, zone it is. We still have these two teams down here in Malta as well. That, of course, being the Rogue Warriors and the players there from SHELLSHOCK. Still holding this position. Blue zone is on the way, and neither of these teams have rotated up just yet.
Yeah, I think they should definitely gear up to do that pretty soon. I would be a little bit scared at this point for the zone to just catch me out and sandwich me in. So rotation's really what I'm looking for at the moment. SHELLSHOCK look to be getting their feet up. Revolution, of course, finishing their fight up towards the just north of this position. And, well, actually, it looks like the Killer Instinct squad have made their way up in towards Yasnaya, which is great. They have now put themselves in pretty much the best spot available on the map right now, which is pretty good for them. We'll just see where the zone rotates to after this, but they're pretty solid spot at the moment. The Dream Team has made their way up as well, so they're sitting inside there. Not Sorry is also up here by his lonesome, just surviving for the moment. Poison going to be just up towards the north from Shade as well, just there. You can see SHELLSHOCK moving their way on up as well. Oh, Sorry might just be in a whole bunch of trouble.
Wait for it. Yeah, there it is. Well, Joker is definitely not sorry. So well done for that one, sending them right back into the lobby. And we've got the Rogue Warriors now battling it out here with, well, what is left of SHELLSHOCK. There's, of course, one player still remaining. They did decide to chase them down, put those hits in. But, I mean, two of the players managed to escape. That, of course, being Zero and Wonder. So well done getting away there. And, well done to the Rogue Warriors for getting, that hit in, just chasing down the team. We are now left with 6 teams, 19 players, and a zone that is, well, roughly well, let's say just over 3 kilometers wide.
Yeah. Yeah, so not many teams remaining, only 6. We've got 19 players, and the zone is going to get a little bit smaller here, just push the teams inward. But they're just going to have to make the rotates and hope they come across these straggling teams right here. It's actually going to be centralized around Yasnaya, so we can see that the Killer Instinct squad will be pretty happy with that. They can just sit where they are at the moment. The rest of the teams will have to make their way on up. And, well, hopefully they can find the shots in towards one another. There's a couple of stragglers across the board, so maybe they'll be found out and potentially get taken down here, or maybe they'll survive. Who knows? But right now, we're just waiting for those teams to move up.
Yeah, well, we have a zone that is, well, 1.5 kilometers across, basically. So, you know, it's gone down by just over half the size. So, well, hopefully the teams are going to start pushing up in towards each other. And getting those hits in. SHELLSHOCK being one of those teams just rushing up in towards that mansion area. Got the team, of course, here from Mulah Six holding up in their position. And, well, there's a few teams in the surrounding area now. Hopefully, if they play this well, we might see the players here from Mulah Six being able to pick off a few teams. Very interesting way of full parking your vehicle, you know, halfway into the terrain here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good way of making sure it doesn't get stolen. You know, just plant the tree, the car tree in the ground, and maybe it'll sprout a couple new cars as well.
Yeah, or it might get tired, so you don't know. Either way, oh, it glitched back out. Here we go. Well, that's one way. The car is back. They can use it now. So that foolproof plan wasn't so foolproof, but either way, it was worth the try, I guess. So we are left with those 19 players waiting for the team there, the Rogue Warriors. It's interesting that they are quite hesitant to make it up in towards the zone. You know, they like to stay on that edge near the blue zone.
Yeah, they are. They seem to be the ones who are really playing more of the long game at this point. They don't want to get involved. They're just like, yeah, you guys can do whatever it is you do in the zone, and we'll just come up right behind. Right at the end, you guys have much to focus on, and I guess it's definitely a viable strategy in this particular scenario because there's not so many teams remaining, right? So there's not really a big fear of getting immediately gate kept or just taking shots at while you're coming in, you know, because there's so few teams remaining. So they're like, yeah, it's fine. We can take our time with this one. So yeah, they're just going for the smart placement point sort of game.
Well, we'll see who gets which place. You know, hopefully that we'll see that action between the teams, and well, yeah, there's no hunter team in this round, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So the teams are playing a little bit more of a little bit more passive game. We've got Mr. Well, I don't know whether it's a Mr. or whatever, but well, the last remaining player rather for the dream team right there in that compound, just on the edge of the zone. Just chilling it out, taking it easy. No immediate rush to go anywhere just yet. So we'll see what this next zone is going to do. The blue zone, of course, now closing in, and the Rogue Warriors are rolling up, and they might, maybe, just looking at their trajectory there, might just bump into the players here from SHELLSHOCK.
Yeah, I mean, they have been putting the hits into this team. They've been going back and forth as it is, but I think they might just want to finish this out here. So finally just take down the remaining players from SHELLSHOCK. They roll on up towards the compound, and now it's down at 0. And the remaining SHELLSHOCK players here to try and keep themselves in this one, to try and just hold out against the onslaught from this team.
Well, hopefully, we'll see whether or not 0 will be the hero, or whether or not they're going to be sent back into that lobby. But the team here from the Rogue Warriors just moving up, grants just flying up in all directions from both teams now. Trying to get that, you know, just trying to get that hit, and one they're getting caught out by that molly. 0 popping off a quick hit as Reggie is now trying to make that push up. 0 going for the roof. Oh, fly catches him on the fly, and the grin ends it all. Beautiful play there. The Rogue Warriors just sorting out the team there from SHELLSHOCK and sending them right back into the lobby. We got Revolution, of course, now putting up right here on the team from Mulah Six. Oh, gang. Well, some interesting parking cost him his life there, sending him, well, into that fetal position.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what got him
I
knocked.
thought.
Is don't drive over the rocks. You're gonna get knocked out.
Or maybe just you know, do the parking course, the PUBGM parking course, where they show you how to park next to the rock safely without flinging yourself out or riding over yourself.
You can see the teams here now. Well, the players rather just trying to get those hits in. We got Forever just on the side of the cliff, and he's almost sliding off the side there. So let's see, 5 teams remaining. Well, and hopefully it gets a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, these players from Revolution could definitely come up here on towards Shade and potentially take him out off that roof. And Karma as well, just up here in the house, could potentially do it. Poison actually going to be putting some hits into the Revolution squad there as well, just keeping them on their toes, keeping the damage coming. And so now Revolution find themselves with not much cover to work with. Looks like Forever might just need to roll up here solo and try and take some players out. Shade is going to be the one to need to catch him.
Well, we've got Karma now just trying to rotate up the side lane, trying to move in. Oh, Forever getting caught in the vehicle. Down he goes. So Gang and Kato still left. Then, of course, Mr. Mag off in the distance. Oh, the shots now just ringing in. Kato getting yet another hit in on Joker. Oh, Gang once again in trouble. Mag only rotating up now.
Yeah, a little bit of a late one already. They could be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know if Mag is just in time to make this. I think he's a little bit late to the party. The rest of his squad is about to get wiped out unless Carter can hold on, and it looks like he won't. The knock comes through, and now Mag is the only one left, and just off in the distance is a bit too far to be able to help out the rest of the squad. Kato goes down. Now Mag is the lone survivor, the lone straggler here. Will just take off around the edge. We do have a couple of teams now rolling up, though. Of course, we do have the squad on the other side there from the Rogue Warriors, so they could potentially start putting some hits in as well.
Yeah, they do. They get that hit in on Shade. That might definitely open up the opportunity here for Mag to, of course, now sneak around, get that third party going. But we've got Funky also not too far away. The zone also now having shifted up. So we'll see what these teams are going to do with this current position. You know, will we see the Rogue Warriors pushing up even more so in towards the team there from Mulah Six? Will Mr. Mag be able to, well, defend himself against the players there from Mulah Six? And also even will Funky be able to get that hit in for the Dream Team?
Yeah, that is the question. We'll see right now. Ooh, the shots coming through. Revolution just putting them in at the moment. That's Mag just putting the hits in, really capitalizing on this position, and it's just hit after hit. He's just finding them right there. What is going on? They just get straight up pushed out, and he actually gets taken out. Straggler to straggler. Wow, that was just such a nice chain of events to witness. Wow, they just...
Man.
Wow.
Beautiful. That is what you call a third party. Funky just coming in, letting all the work be done, and then just coming in to take Mag down. You know, just saying, well, thanks for coming. Brah, lobby it is. Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, now it's just the Rogue Warriors moving up from the south. We've got, of course, our last remaining player here from the Dream Team. And then, of course, the team there from Killer Instinct, who, off the back of a really good rotate up in towards Yosnaya, are sitting pretty much quite happily here. They haven't had to fight very much. They haven't had to do anything. And they are already in the top 3, just off the back of some really good rotates here. And, well, now we're going to see who comes out on top of this one, if the Rogue Warriors will be able to challenge them, if that last remaining player from the Dream Team is going to get another cheeky couple of hits in, potentially. We will see, but that is all about to be decided right here.
We got the Rogue Warriors now rolling up straight in towards that central part of the zone. You can see Cyclops just peeking the... Oh! Nonex putting the hit into Icebox. Icebox trying to put a few shots in towards Mr. Cyclops there. And, well, the shots are now ringing up. They're trying to get those hits in the vehicle. If they get it, they might be able to take out Fly and Icebox.
Oh.
Gun lead just there. Oh! Icebox goes down once again.
Twice in, like, the span of 30 seconds, maybe. It's a bit of a rough one. Icebox getting a bit rattled there, it would seem, and now Rogue Warriors find themselves right in the zone as it shifts up, so it's going to be up to the Killer Instinct players to move up, and move up they do. They rotate almost immediately, just getting instantly aggressive, but can they hold on? Is this aggression going to pay off? The Rogue Warriors getting the first hit on towards Cyclops. Rogue Warriors need to hold on to this one. They're dropping like flies bit by bit. Finally, Reggie's going to get one back, but is it enough? Is it too little, too late at the moment? Shark going to get another one. He's just putting the hits in at the moment, and well, the Rogue Warriors get taken down.
Yeah, and everything is now just, well, the only thing standing between the Killer Instinct team and that chicken dinner is Funky, that is now just made it up into its zone, heading straight into that prone position. And now let's see, will Funky be able to pull it off?
Yeah. He's got the PP buys, and he's out here. He's ready to clap. 1v4, easy peasy. He knows he's got this. He just has to pull that trigger. That's all that needs to happen.
Yeah. You know, chicken dinner is pretty much in the bag.
Yeah.
You know, Funky must just get it.
Yeah. I mean, the fire rate's there, the mag is there. You know, he just needs to dump it down into the right direction. He's got it.
Oh, let's see. You can see the players here from Killer Instinct moving up. Up comes Cyclops. Oh,
he doesn't even pull the trigger. No, what have you done? It was right there. The chicken dinner was so close, Funky. What is this?
Yeah, well, that was that was an interesting end to the zone there. So well done, well played. The players there, of course, now from Killer Instinct getting the chicken dinner and 5 kills. The Dream Team finishing off with 3 in second place. The Rogue Warriors finishing up in third place with 4 kills. We got Revo finishing up with well 10 kills in fourth place. Then of course the team there from Mulah Six in fifth place, making a bit of a comeback from the previous rounds. So earning themselves 4 kills for this one. SHELLSHOCK finishing with 2 kills in 6th place. DKGaming finishing in 7th with 2. iEnvy finishing in 8th with 5. And of course we've got the players there from the BV Charlie team in 9th place. Complexity in 10th. And then the Liberators in 11th place. So yeah, there we go. There we have it. That was game 4. Game 4.
Yeah.
Second murmur match. Oh, Iranian match. I don't know.
Yeah, we've already finished the murmur. That's done and dusted. Yeah, a very interesting set of matches, especially considering the lobby size was a little bit smaller than we usually see, which did lead to a couple of interesting situations, some interesting rotates, and some interesting things happening across the board. It seems like a lot of these players do need to come for Patchy's PUBGM parking lessons, though. So you might just hit me up if you want me to just give you some of those. But no, ultimately, yeah, it's some good games in any case across the board. Some nice plays coming out there, and a nice successful night of PUBG.
Yeah, well, there we go. There we have it. And well done to the teams. You know, we saw some interesting things happening in the games here. Hopefully we will see more. So next week we'll be spectating yet another group. So this was of course group 3. So next week I think it should maybe group 2. We'll see how it goes. You'll find out when the stream goes live. You'll find out, as will we, which group it will be. So yeah, there we go. We've got 1 more week left, and then the following week I think we're in our finals.
Yeah, I think so.
Series. So 4 lobbies getting condensed down into, well, I think maybe possibly 1. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. This is the first time that we've had 4 lobbies in open series, so yeah, it's definitely going to be quite the spicy thing. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is it from myself and Patchy, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in on Wednesday when we get back into our Pro series.
Yeah, that's the one.
There we go. All right, so without further ado, have a fantastic evening and see you guys on a Wednesday.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me.